Yo, PC fam, what's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of The Panel. I got my man Jay in the building with us. We got Chilltown, and of course, we got Penn in the building, y'all. Be ready for a great show today. Before we really get into anything, I want to let y'all know that tomorrow is the day we've been waiting for. Tomorrow, we will be at the MODA Center live streaming before the game kicks off. We have the Los Angeles Clippers against the Portland Trailblazers, and it is gearing up to be a very, very important game. If you haven't gotten your tickets, you still got time, so get that done. Meet us at the MODA Center tomorrow. If you're not going to make it, then tap into the live stream. It's going to be at 5 p.m. Pacific time instead of the regular 8 a.m. Pacific time that we go at. So just make sure your notification bells are on, y'all. Where we at? Okay, let's get back to it. So, we got some things going on in the NBA right now. We're going to talk about today. First, we're going to start talking about this new NBA rule that's it's proposed that should curb tanking. We'll talk about Austin Reaves potentially getting paid. We'll talk about Giannis potentially heading to Beantown. We'll talk about a lot of things today, y'all. But how y'all doing, though? Chill, Penn, Jay, what's up with y'all?
Hey, man, getting to it. Excited, man. Some good games last night, man. That Atlanta game was crazy.
Yo, y'all dudes gonna stop talking about Donovan Mitchell like y'all do. Y'all gonna stop talking about him like y'all do and start talking about him like I talk about him. I'm sick of listening to y'all dudes. And I don't gas Donovan Mitchell like Penn does with Scotty Barnes. Let's be clear about that. I don't do that. I'm not that wild with it, right? But with that being said, I'm trying to make sense of what you dudes are looking at when you see Donovan Mitchell that I don't see. Like, what am I missing?
You're not missing anything.
I'm trying to make sense of it, Penn, because like they talk to me like this dude is just chill.
Now go 2 spots down the roster. We can talk about things you've seen that you're not supposed to be seeing with Evan Mobley.
Yeah.
However, with Donovan Mitchell, no, you're right.
I'm just trying to make sense of what's going on here. Because when I watch the dude, again, I see a great passer. I see a great 2-guard, a bucket getter, a guy in the clutch who can get whatever he wants, whenever he wants. Even as a smaller guard, even though he ain't that small, he just ain't 6'6". But I can play physical. I'm really good getting downhill, not just playing amongst the bigs, but getting other guys involved. Like he had a play last night where he drew the defense. And with drawing the defense, a lot of guys would just throw up a bad shot to get fouled. Nah, he swung that bitch across court, and my man knocks down a wide open 3. And I'm like, that's the thing that you talk about, Penn, all the time. Court awareness. Recognizing who's on the floor and processing the game. When I watch Donovan Mitchell, like I'm not just running my mouth about this guy. The unfortunate part about Cleveland is that they've had injuries in the postseason. When the Celtics won it, Jared Allen ended up going down. Donovan Mitchell ended up going down. Last season, Mobley went down. The kid Hunter went down. Like they've had some unfortunate luck, man. I think that's the downside to it. But I know I ain't going crazy when I watch Donovan Mitchell. I'm like, I think he's the best 2-guard in the game, and I still stand on that. I'm standing on that. And I know how y'all feel about Anthony Edwards and the aesthetics. I do get it. Aesthetically, it looks fantastic, right? The dude plays above the rim, super athletic, got a money mid-range, I'm not going to say money mid-range. It's gotten better, but the 3-ball looks great. He will compete on the defensive side of the ball. But I think that what's swaying a lot of people is the aesthetics more than anything, because Ox is a big component of what the game looks like, and I get that. I 100% get that. But when I watch Donovan Mitchell,
Chill. What do you mean by that?
When I say aesthetics, when I say aesthetics, dudes watch the game and they go, all right, that dude is better than that dude. We taking numbers off the table. We taking all of that stuff off the table. All right, that dude is nicer with the pill than that dude. That dude got a better jump shot than that dude. That dude is a better rebounder than that dude. Stuff like that. Like when we just talking about basketball player. And aesthetically, when you see Anthony Edwards, I get it. Yeah, Jay, I get it. I mean, he's the Bentley Continental. I got a Rolls Royce over here though. I do. And I'm not looking sideways at your Bentley. Your Bentley nice, B. I'm not arguing that point. But I got a Rolls Royce over here too. My ride is cleaner than the kitchen sink. Yes, sir.
D-Mitch got a deep bag.
Yes, he does.
First of all, he's athletic as hell at the rim. And everything you do athletically at the rim looks better the shorter you are.
That's interesting.
So, aesthetically speaking, I don't understand why people don't like Donovan Mitchell. If you have a problem with this aesthetics, maybe you need to get your eyes checked.
Is that a factor? Like it looks better when you're shorter.
Absolutely.
100%.
Everything looks better. When you taller, everything looks clunky.
AI switching hands looks so much cooler than Jalen Johnson switching hands. Like it's a cool thing to see. But I don't think it's the aesthetics with Donovan Mitchell. I think it's just the fact that we see it in the regular season too. He looks great in the games. The court awareness is awesome. When the long ball is falling, he's unstoppable. He can play above the rim. But he's just not getting it done in the postseason. I think Anthony Edwards gets the edge because Anthony Edwards is getting it done in the postseason against the top matchups, right? He's not losing to Boston and people are like, oh, well, those are the champs, right? He's not, he's getting it done and he's competing in the Western Conference Finals.
But I think
It's not like Donovan Mitchell didn't show up in the playoffs. His
he
team
went
didn't show up. That's not on
and
him.
And he went one more round. And I'm not going to argue the point that he went one more round. But let's not act like I haven't proven that I could get us I can get us to the playoffs. And I'm good enough that I can help. We can win a playoff series on the strength of me. I could do that. I've proven that. It's not a lot of guys we can say in the league that can say, yo, I can get us at a round one. Donovan Mitchell has proven that he could get us at a round one. Now, when you move in, yes, he has. That's and this is the point that I'm making. The reason why I'm saying that, Alex, is because people talk about Ant like Ant is just like miles ahead of him. Like I do not remember, Oxen. I got a pretty good memory. I don't remember us saying that Ewing was better than David Robinson because he got to the East Finals and David Robinson couldn't get to the West Finals. We wasn't doing that. We never did that. We never said that. We never said that Olajuwon was better than Ewing because he got to the NBA Finals in year 2. We wasn't saying that. No, that was not going on because he didn't get back for 8 more years, right? So I say that to say, Donovan Mitchell has proven in the past, I get busy in the playoffs. My game translates from the regular season. That long ball translates. My ball handling translates. My defense, all of this stuff, my game translates. I just had some unfortunate luck with guys getting injured and me running into, for lack of a better term, bomb squads, unfortunately. That's just been the downside to it. Because if you think about it, Ox, okay, we lost to Dallas. Dallas ended up in the Western Conference Championship when we lost to them. When we lost to Boston, they had a parade in Boston. When we lost to Indiana, Jay, I'm willing to bet dollars to donuts. When you was watching that NBA Finals last season, there was a stretch during that Finals where you was like, you know what? The gold team looked better than the blue team. That's who we lost to. It ain't like we just choking in the playoffs and losing the bums. We just had some unfortunate luck.
Hey, why is it that they call Denver's ring at 23? What they call it, the medical ring or the hospital ring?
Because people just want to complain.
That's it. That's people.
Well, I'm just saying, if Denver got a hospital ring, then OKC for sure got a hospital ring.
I don't know. I don't know. I think Indiana was playing the best basketball out the East, and that's why they won the East last year. That's
probably why.
Yeah, I'm saying not just because of Indiana, but I'm saying because of Denver as well.
I don't think either one of them got a hospital ring. I think they both got rings.
Absolutely, Pin. I'm with you on that. I feel like every ring, that's just a part of the game. People get hurt, and you got to win basketball games whether people are hurt or healthy. It doesn't really matter. I'm just asking why is it one way for one team from like the masses, not from us. Like I don't care either way. You know what I'm saying? I think Memphis, 2K got Memphis too. But Memphis wasn't gonna do shit anyway. But still, like
when you don't like somebody,
I'm just curious to know why is it that sometimes, we have speak bad about one team and the other team does the same thing and it's okay.
I think when a team isn't expected to do well, or the team has a lot of haters, or there's a particular player on that team that's very polarizing, it can be possible that people want to discredit that success by hating, right? So if you hate Curry, you say he had too much help. If you hate LeBron, you say he formed a super team. It's always like that. But at the end of the day, it's just winning 16 games in the playoffs is hard.
Very difficult. Very difficult.
You look at what happened with the Raptors. They, KD, Clay. Then with the Lakers, they're in the bubble, and for some reason it's supposed to be it's supposed to be easier to play in the bubble. And then 23 happens, last year. There's a bunch of that's just a part of basketball. I think every single year, every single year,
Auction
you
Mike
can
too
go
low.
back. Every single year, you can look at somebody getting hurt. You know,
I think you could say that, but it's like it's the same thing we talked about yesterday, where like what you focus on, you see more of it, but you don't focus on the other stuff. So in all the talk about the 2019 Toronto Raptors, the championship, all that stuff, we're not talking about how they got there. They went through bomb squad after bomb squad to get there. That Milwaukee team was a contender. That Philly team was a contender. To go through those teams perfectly healthy, by the way, go down two zip in that Milwaukee series, go all the way to a game 7 against that Philly series. I implore you to go back and look at that Philly roster and don't think about who Ben Simmons became. Think about who Ben Simmons was at that time. I don't know, man. Like it's everyone talks about the Golden State injury. People not talking about the fact that Kawhi wasn't exactly healthy going into the finals at all. He limped through one leg after that game 2 in Milwaukee when he came down off that dunk. So I don't know. I just having seen 2 teams that I followed in my life go all the way, the New York Knicks in 1999, seeing like all the success and failure of the 1990s and then culminate in that, unfortunately losing against the Spurs, and then watching the Raptors go from 2013 to then 2019, I just realized like it's a friggin' like 5-year, 6-year process to go and build a championship team, go through all the failures, and then to discredit that because one guy got hurt. That's sad. That's sad. I don't understand a basketball fan that want to do that.
And then take it
it's
a step further, Penn. If you feel like the Raptors just didn't deserve to be there, didn't deserve that ring, then you didn't watch Golden State play the Raptors in the regular season, because both the games that they played were extremely close wire-to-wire games. Like it wasn't like the Warriors were fully healthy, Raptors fully healthy in the regular season, they were getting smacked. Those were both super duper close games. So I don't understand how we're getting this opinion that, And then the Lakers, same thing with the bubble. The Lakers were, if not the best team, a top 3 team in the regular season before the bubble happened, before the league shut down.
They were on their way to winning 60 games.
Yeah.
That was going to happen. They were going to win 60 plus games that year before the bubble shut down. It wasn't like they were just a good team. No, I think when the bubble shut the season down, I think they had won 44 or 45 games. Mm-hmm. They were on their way to winning 60 plus games that year. 47 games, I think, that they had won.
I mean, my thing with 19 is just like, Steph Curry's so much better than Kawhi Leonard. He should have been able to carry him through that. You know what I'm saying?
It doesn't always happen like that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, Jay. Steph Curry clears Kawhi by
absolutely
a wide. I mean, a gap so big that I could walk through it.
Are you trying to bait me?
So,
no, this is the conversation that we had yesterday. No,
I'm not trying to bait you.
Because you did it with Draymond, and I feel like you're inching this way now with Steph.
Look. Everybody knows. Everybody knows I love Steph Curry. Everybody knows I love Steph Curry.
Okay,
but I'm just saying, like, he's so big. He's so much better than Kawhi Leonard. You could throw a house through that gap.
Well, you've been watching basketball a long time. The best player doesn't always win, Ox. So that just happens. Just happens. Yeah. Sorry to tell you.
Well, anyways, though, y'all, I want to talk about this new rule that they might implement that should end tanking, and then we'll get into some more stuff. We got to go through all the games last night anyway. We'll do that at a later point. But let's talk about it. So apparently they're making it to they will make it to where all the bottom 10 teams have the same odds to get the first pick. They all have 8% odds. Is that gonna work? Does that help anything?
Not really.
Well, what? Okay, so how was it? Let's talk about first. How was it supposed to help? Like, what is it supposed to do?
The parity of the odds has been they've been moving this way for a while, right? And honestly, I could argue tanking is worse than ever. Is it? Am I wrong to say it's worse than ever? So when we used to have 25% odds for the worst team, back in 2003 when LeBron was in the draft, the team with the worst record had 25% chance, I think, of getting him. But now we scaled that back. So we added this sort of fairness between the top 4, right? We scaled it down so you wouldn't have the incentive. But all you've done there is change the number of teams that think they have even odds or greater odds at getting the number 1 pick. Mm-hmm. And now you're just going to take it one step further. And now 10 teams are going to think, you said 10, right?
Yes.
So it's 10 teams are going to think, oh, we have equal odds at Victor Wembanyama. We have equal odds. And so now the team that's 12 is trying to get to 10. The team that's 14 might be thinking about trying to get to 10. Now you want the whole team, you want the whole league tanking now. Because at the end of the day, I don't think this is how people interpret odds in their mind. Like, yes, 25% is greater than 14%, but 14% is the best odds. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I get that.
Yeah, so like that's kind of how I see it. It's like I don't know if they're going the right way. I think what they should do, honestly, is every single team, if they have players that are healthy that can play, you need to provide me with medical evidence that I can independently verify that these players cannot play. If you are sitting teams, if you're sitting players out in fourth quarters, deliberately fouling really good free throw shooters with a tie game when you could foul a center, try to intentionally lose games, you are threading away at the integrity of the game. It's gross for the people who are watching these games. It is really sick. And if you're going to do that, you know what? We're going to move you to the end of the draft. So any team that does that goes to 14.
The Sacramento Kings pen should be fined $20 million for what we just did against the
No, y'all should be fined $20 million for beating the Raptors. That sucked.
Well, y'all should be signed for
honestly, fine everybody. But
that was egregious. That was so embarrassing as a Kings fan to see that. I think we should. In fact, we should lose our first round pick this year.
Oh damn!
I want you to know $20 million.
You didn't even want the Clippers to lose their first round pick.
That sets back your rebuild like at least another 10 years, buddy. I don't think you want that.
Hey, so what? That's what we get. No integrity.
I think that while it does hurt the integrity of the game, I think that taking has always been an issue, and all these ways that they're trying to come up with stopping teams from taking just aren't going to work because bad teams just need a way to get better, right? I think that there's just not a lot of ways for small market teams that are bad to get better, right? Like I think about all the small market teams that are bad that have just been bad damn near my whole life, right? That I've been watching suck since I started watching basketball, right? And I think that there's just so limited amount of ways to make your team better. You're always going to have guys trying to find an edge and cheat. I think if you really want to deter tanking, right, you're never going to stop it. But if you want to deter it, like you said, you got to find the teams. The teams have to pay. If owners start losing money, like Draymond said, if owners start losing money, guess what? They're going to make motherfuckers play. They're going to try to win the fucking game if owners start losing money.
I don't know, man. I think you just this Sam Hinkie thing. I don't want to blame Sam Hinkie for everything, but making it so mainstream, talking about it the way that he did, making an example out of it. Now, the Philadelphia 76ers have never made a finals all those years of tanking. The Wizards, at least in my lifetime, have never made a finals. Am I wrong about that? I don't think so. So there are teams that have been tanking for what feels like generations, and they do not make it, right? And I'm looking at a team like Atlanta right now. I want to give Atlanta a lot of credit. Auntie Soleil, I was a very big fan of this guy. He was in the San Antonio front office. He's a Canadian dude from Alberta. And I've been hearing like through the grapevine, like this guy's a genius. Wait till he gets his own team. Goes over to Atlanta. He's their assistant general manager. They remove Landry Fields. So he doesn't get any of the flack for picking Zach Risachet, who just got a DMPCD, I think yesterday or the day before. And he just totally changed this team around. But who is this team built around right now? It's not a top 10 pick. It's Jalen Johnson, right? Nickeil Alexander-Walker was a signing. Jonathan Kuminga is a second draft guy. The Atlanta Hawks are like running through the East right now. Now, I'm not saying they're going to be great in the playoffs. I have no idea if they will be. Detroit is a good example of tanking working, but that's because they got Cade. And they felt like very lucky into Jalen Johnson. Jalen Duren. But like, I'm just looking at certain teams and I'm just like, man, the Orlando Magic have spent like a long time tanking. They're all the way at the bottom of the East right now. They're right next to the Miami Heat, who never tank. So, like, at this point, I think you're just selling cope and hope to your fan base, right?
Selling what?
Cope and hope, not Coke.
That would probably make the games a little more watchable, though, if they did, aside of...
Yeah.
Because that Sacramento game was bad.
Mic check.
All
You got-
right. Yep.
Okay, we're good. All right.
All right.
My
So
fault.
you want to jump back in here on this conversation?
Yeah, man. Penn brought up a really interesting point about the 10 teams. If you're going to be number 14 and you're moving up to 10, and if you're 12 moving up, I mean, we clearly see what's going on here, right? It's not like it's news about who's trying and who's trying to win and who's not trying to win. My issue is I don't want to penalize bad teams for trying to be good. Like I think that's where the problem is. The reason why we're bad is because, one, we don't have good draft picks. Now, don't get me wrong, Penn. It's not solely because of that, because we can get it wrong in the draft. But I don't want to continuously penalize you for that off the strength that, I got it wrong in the draft, maybe this once or maybe this one time. I just feel like if I'm bad, I do need an opportunity to get better, because Salt Lake City is not a desirable place for free agents. So I need my draft pick. Oklahoma City is not a desirable place for free agents. Like you guys look at Oklahoma City the way you look at Oklahoma City today. Just so we clear, I mean, SGA got traded there. SGA did not get drafted there. He got traded there. J-Dub was drafted there. Chet was drafted there, right? So teams like Oklahoma City, Utah, Minnesota, we need our high draft picks, because Anthony Edwards is not coming to Minnesota in free agency. That's not happening.
But
Chill,
so there's
but
like
how
a
many-
natural
how many-
life
I'll-
cycle,
I'll-
right? Like when Michael Jordan retires, you get the number 1 pick, Elton Brand, and then you are bad for a few years. You get Jay Williams. That doesn't work out, unfortunately. You get Eddie Curry, Jamal Crawford, like all the high draft picks that the Bulls got in the wake of Michael Jordan.
Sure.
It didn't really pan out until Derrick Rose and Joakim Noah showed up and Luol Deng. You got to actually hit on these picks. But you could be bad for years if you don't have the right system. And I don't think, personally, for young players who are 19 and 20 years old, like I, for one, I don't really have a dog in this race apart from maybe Carter Bryant, right? Carter, my guy. So I was so happy that he got drafted to the San Antonio Spurs, because he doesn't have to put up with this bullshit.
Yeah.
He's playing meaningful minutes on a 60-plus win team right now, and I'm happy for him. That's good for your development. Jason Tatum comes into Boston. Immediately, they are winning.
Yeah.
That's a good situation. I understand when your stars retire, your stars leave, like when LeBron James left Cleveland, that you're going to end up with high draft picks because your star just left.
Yes.
But to intentionally sit stars, to intentionally lose games at the end, what message are you sending to these 19 and 20-year-olds who are watching this shit happen?
The message that we're sending is that we're trying to build our team, and this is the best way to do it. The higher the draft pick we get, the higher. I understand that you guys are in competition. I do understand that. But contrary to popular belief, Ox, there aren't many people who think like you when it comes to tanking. There's plenty of fans that look at the draft and go, yes, we are definitely tanking for AJ DeBonsta. We are definitely tanking for Cameron Boozer. Absolutely. We will lose games in order to get him. And Penn, to your point, I mean, the Bulls actually did get it right when they drafted Kirk Heinrich, when they drafted Luol Deng. I mean, they weren't a championship team, but they did get it right in drafting the guys that they drafted. They don't get back to that space unless they get it right in the draft. And in order for me to get there, I got to have those picks. And if I don't have those picks, I'm going to be in purgatory for my existence. And I don't want that. No.
I still don't think you like, okay, yes, I understand the draft picks are very valuable. They're one of the most valuable assets in the NBA. So is restricted free agency.
Sure.
In a couple of years, the OKC Thunder are going to have players like Cason Wallace, AJ Mitchell. All these guys are going to come up for extensions. Jared McCain is going to be a restricted free agent in a few years.
Yep.
They're not going to be able to pay him. They already got too much.
Yep.
So now we're going to have teams like the Brooklyn Nets, possibly, that are going to have an opportunity to go get those guys. If you look at what the Wizards just did, there are 2 bloated salaries attached to pretty reasonably good players, Anthony Davis and Trae Young.
I think
And
they're
we were
a
able
little
to
better
get
than
them for
reasonable.
basically free.
They're better than reasonable, but go ahead.
Well, one of those players is very better than reasonable. One of those players, the jury is still out, but we'll see what those guys look like next year.
Sure.
You just got 2 stars without a single, like, you didn't have to get a top 5 pick to get those guys in.
Correct.
And I'll guarantee you that both those guys are going to be better than Alex Sarr next year.
Okay.
Who is your top pick?
But
Keep going.
sure, the other thing with this is like, now mind you, in these last, what you say, last 7 years, right? There's been a different champion, right?
Yes.
Seven,
Since
yeah?
since
Been
2019,
seven?
we've had a different
14.
champion. Yes, sir.
And so I see that as, okay, now more teams feel like we got opportunity to win, as opposed to the past where there was more of, the same 5 teams were getting it, right?
Yep.
So I think it opens up. But, Chill, I think realistically, some teams are not going to win championships.
They're not.
Like,
Nope.
you know what I mean? And so for those reasons, I feel like we should just be trying to compete to get to that level.
Sure.
To get to that level where we can finally compete, can compete to be there. So I think it's more important to build a culture, build some structure, build an organization that is about winning. I think it's more important to hire people in your front office, hire coaching staff, hire people that are going to hold this organization accountable.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Draft some adults, get some people in here that are like, okay, we're heading this direction. It might take us 3, 4, 5 seasons to get there.
Yep.
Similar to what Boston did. You know, I think it's more important to go that route. Get people in here that are going to teach people how to win, teach people how to be professionals, develop young players. And when you do that, Chill, I think you can maybe not attract big free agents, but you can attract some professionals to come in, those glue guys, those filler guys, and from there, let's develop. Let's make some good trades. We might not be able to attract big free agents, but let's go after them in trades. You know what I'm saying? Let's. I mean, in Chill, as long as you have a top 15 pick, you can do your research and pick some guys that are going to help your team win. You don't always have to have a top 5 guy.
Okay, well, with that being said, Oxen, you just made a really interesting point about building this culture. Well, the only way for me to build, I got this house, and in order for me to get people to come over to the house, I got to build a foundation. You dig? I can't just have you coming over to my crib, Jay, and my crib is raggedy. You ain't going to want to come over here no more. So what happens in the NBA, to your point, Ox, yes, the Miami Heat are building with Tyler Hero, who was the 14th pick, and Bam Adebayo, who was the 14th pick. But you know what that means? Yeah, we got some nice stuff over here, but it sounds like we just paying bills. That's really all we doing. We want to get into a nicer place. We do need that. So to your point, Ox, when you're talking about building a culture, well, how do I build a culture? I need to build a culture with high draft picks. That's the way I'm going to do that. Now, the way that we get there, we may disagree on that. The way that we get, to be honest with you, I'm all for trying to get as high a draft pick as I possibly can get, because when we're talking about this draft right here, if I got a generational player, if I got a guy that I can build my unit around for the next 6 to 8 years, I'm absolutely doing that. To Penn's point, so when when you talking about I'm going to lose these guys in a couple of years, well, that's 2 different conversations we're having. That has nothing to do with draft picks. That's about the CBA. So that's about the money being different, and I'm not going to be able to pay all of these guys. So somebody's going to go to Brooklyn, somebody's going to go to Washington, somebody's going to go to Minnesota and get paid. I get that part, but that's a different issue. When we're talking about building my unit and we're talking about my team getting better, I'm doing everything that I can to get it right in the draft. Oklahoma City, outside of SGA, who they traded for, they might as well have drafted him because they got him after year 1. If I can get it right in the draft, like Oklahoma City did, like Minnesota has done, I mean, absolutely I can build my unit, because I know that because of the CBA, I only got a short period of time to have these guys. I'm going to lose Anthony Edwards to a bigger market. It's a possibility I'm going to lose some of these other guys that are in Oklahoma City. I'm going to lose some of these guys because they're going to want to go get paid somewhere else. To your point, really quickly, when you talk about both of these guys being better than Alex Sarr, the fact that Alex Sarr is as good as he is, almost a 20 and 10 guy, one of the best defensive players in the game, I don't have that to pair with Anthony Davis and Trae Young if I don't get him in the draft. That doesn't happen. He's not coming to me. So I definitely need that.
Well, they traded for Trae Young and Anthony Davis, though.
Yes,
So,
they
you know what I'm
did.
saying?
But we can
So
still
that's
build our
all I'm
unit
saying.
around
We
this
can-
big guy, though. We can still build our unit around this big guy in Sarr. We can
Absolutely.
definitely do
hell
that.
Absolutely.
no,
but
you
chill,
can't.
chill, you know what though? And this I just damn, y'all, I can't remember who was saying this in this video, and if y'all remember, please tell me. One thing that they can do, Chill, these teams can do is go back to hiring basketball guys. They can go back to hiring basketball guys to put in their front office in that middle management, because I'm listening to the conversation where they're saying they're hiring these analytic guys, these number guys, to bridge the gap between ownership and players and coaches, so that the ownership can feel like they understand what's going on. And I think, and I've said this before, Chill, when I first came up here, I think we got to remember what our roles are. I know you're big on roles on the floor. Sure. I'm big on roles within the organization. I'm big on roles in the business. I'm big on roles in family. I'm big on roles where it's like, yo,
job.
You do
Absolutely.
what you do. You know what I'm saying?
Job.
I think team owners should own. You know what I'm saying? That's your job. Be the owner. Do that business. The GM should do the GM job. You know what I'm saying? Do what you do. Coaches should coach. Players should play. You know what I'm saying? Equipment managers should manage equipment. You know what I mean? Like we should do what we do. And I think a lot of these team owners need to stay where they are. Stay in your place, owner. Stay in your lane. You don't know what's going on this basketball court. Hire somebody that does. Now that they're hiring these numbers guys to try to get them involved and okay, well, you know what I'm saying? If you don't know basketball, just be okay with not knowing basketball. Own your team. Come watch it. Enjoy the show. You know what I'm saying? Stay out of this.
Chill,
I think when you do that, I think you can build. You can start having more successful teams when team owners stop thinking that they know what's going on in this basketball court.
Chill. I don't think Alex Sarr is as good as a defender as you think he is.
I think he could be Rudy Gobert good. I do.
I don't think there's a chance in hell
Rudy Gobert good.
That's very high too. That's very high.
So he's not the best defender on his team right now.
Of
Rudy
course,
Gobert
he's got Anthony Davis. Holy shit! All right,
Keyshawn George is a better defender than him.
No, he isn't. Mm-mm.
Who?
Absolutely.
No.
But why do you feel that way, Penn? Wait,
Penn. Who'd you say?
Keyshawn George. Keyshawn George. No.
It's better defender than Alex Sarr?
No.
That's very interesting.
Keyshawn George from who? What
Alex is an
Keyshawn George
awesome.
y'all talking about?
The one who plays on Washington.
Not Keontae George. No, not that dude from Utah.
No,
He ain't talking about that
straight,
dude. No.
straight
Oh, well, I
trash.
know he's not talking about him. I know
No.
that. That's crazy.
No.
I know he's talking about. I'm just making sure.
Alex is a really good shot blocker, but yeah, like so is Khalil Ware. Khalil Ware is a great shot blocker. Shot blocking alone does not make you a great defender.
No,
And
it
I
doesn't.
promise you, Alex Sarr is nowhere close to Rudy Gobert or anything close to a franchise player. He is not. In my opinion, he is nowhere close to the best player from his draft class.
Penn, I don't know what you're watching when you watch this guy, man. I mean, he's got a really good pick and pop game. Just from the offensive side of him, he's got a great pick and pop, pick and dive game. And by the way, Penn, and I don't know, Jay, if you've heard me say this before, just so you know, Penn, they don't run anything for him. Like a lot of the stuff that he gets is I think it has a lot to do with coaching. A lot of the stuff that they run is secondary stuff. It's stuff that he gets that makes up for the other stuff. So what I mean when I say makes up for the other stuff, he gets what's left. Like he's not the number one guy where we're running a pick and pop and he ends up getting So Middleton's coming off the screen and Middleton's looking to shoot. And if he's not open, he's flashing the ball to the corner to George, and George doesn't have anything open. And then Sarr ends up popping at the elbow, and he knocks down that mid range, or he's diving to the rim, and they find him. They don't even run anything for him. If they actually ran some stuff for him,
you think he's better than Khalil Ware?
Yes, I do think that. Yes, I do think that he's better than Khalil Ware.
I don't even like Khalil Ware, and to me, he's not.
But what's the evidence for Keyshawn George being a better defender? I know Chill broke the offensive side of the ball, but
he's a better team defender. He's better off ball. He's more versatile. He simply put, like when you see Keyshawn George with a functional defensive lineup around him, like a good point of attack defender, you are going to see this guy. Like Keyshawn George could play playoff minutes right now, guaranteed. Alex Sarr is not a great post.
So can Alex Sarr.
The hell he could. He could play.
So really quickly, Penn, before you go any further, just so we clear, Alex Sarr is your starting 5-man in Toronto. If he's up there, he's your starting 5-man, 100%.
Colin Murray Boyles is way better than him.
He's starting in the hole for you guys.
Colin Murray Boyles is way better than him.
He's your best rebounder. He's your best rim protector. He's your best. He's your best rebounder.
CMB's better than Alex Sarr.
Colin Murray Boyles is way better than Alex Sarr. What are we doing here?
Nuts, right there.
No, it's not.
I like when Fan gets on this. Yeah, Fan, talk to him.
Yo, do you know how many players? Do you know how many players in this current draft are better than Alex Sarr right now? Colin Knippel better than him. VJ Edgecombe's better than him.
Okay.
Cooper Flagg is better than him.
Okay.
Dylan Harper's better than him.
Okay.
100%. Colin Murray.
Dylan Harper. Whoa! Hey! Ho!
What?
Hang on. Hold on.
What?
Whoa!
Hang on. Dylan Harper is going to be a franchise player, Cho.
And so
clearly.
is Alex Sarr.
Oh my God, chill. The day Alex
I'm
Sarr
not
is
sure
a
I agree with
franchise.
either one of those
Chill.
guys being
The
franchise
day Alex
players.
Sarr is a franchise player outside of Taiwan, okay? Maybe
you think
one
he's
day he will be a
whack?
franchise player in Taiwan. Maybe one day
Right now.
they will start a basketball league in Antarctica and he could be the franchise player in Antarctica. He is not a
Jesus.
franchise player. He
So-
is in a normal draft, as in not a weak ass draft. He is a prototypical 9th overall pick. You know what he is? He's Samaki Walker level talent. Okay, no, Samaki Walker
definitely
level
better than
impact.
Samaki Walker.
Now,
Yes, he
to
is.
the people who do not remember Samaki Walker in the draft,
You
wearing
think he
his
better than
white
DeAndre
suit.
Ayton? You think him and DeAndre Ayton are on the same or DeAndre Ayton?
DeAndre Ayton as a prospect is
Yes.
way better than Alex Sarr. Now, I don't like DeAndre Ayton. You know
Right.
that. So you're
I
just
do
trying to
know
trigger
that.
me at this point. You're trying to rage bait me. You're trying to rage bait me.
That's not
Because
what's
Chill,
going
you
on right
know
here.
that there
You
is
just told me that Alex
there is a
Sarr,
fourth
who
string
is
center
second
in the league
in
that I
block
think
shots, who's one of the best young interior paint defenders in the game. Like the shot blocking is not empty. This isn't Hassan Whiteside over here. No, the shot blocking is not
yeah,
empty
you're right.
with him.
Hassan's better.
And not only is the shot blocking not empty, on the offensive side of the ball, his skill level is a lot better than you give him
Chill,
credit
when you
for.
say this is one of the better defenders in the league, and I look at the New York Knicks roster and I'm like, I think the Knicks got 6 better defenders than him. What are we doing here?
Oh, you
Like,
mean-
just because he plays on the trash ass
So you mean
Washington
the
Wizards
New
right now.
York Knicks, if I'm not
Chill,
mistaken,
I will
Jay, the
remind
New York
you.
Knicks, if I'm not mistaken, Jay, the New York Knicks, don't y'all have the best or the second or the third best defense in the league?
I mean, we
Great.
the Knicks. Yeah, like
What you
come on.
doing?
Y'all got wait, y'all. But Jay, y'all got 6 defenders better than Alex Sarr. 6.
We got
of them?
15 developers with the Knicks.
So, Penn,
never
name
mind,
them.
Never mind.
Name them. The
Mitchell
6
Robinson.
defenders, name them.
Mitchell
Bet-
Robinson is way better.
Mitchell,
Okay.
OG.
He a better rebounder.
Mikal,
I'll give you
that's where it
I'll give you
Mikal,
OG.
Mikal is way better.
Mikal is
What?
no way better defender.
No,
than
he is
Sarr.
not. He isn't. No, he
Yes,
is not.
he
Mikal
is.
is actually going the other way. His ability
Yes,
to navigate
Going the
screens.
other way.
His ability to
Man,
navigate
I'm tired-
screens,
I'm
his
tired of
on-ball
Mikal Bridges.
defense.
Oh,
yeah,
has gone
he's
the
not
other way.
He's not
He
second
used to
place
be
DPOY, but he's still better than
exactly.
him.
And guess what? Alex Sarr is going this way. That's where we're going with Alex
Chill,
Sarr. And who
chill.
would you rather have? Because I can tell you, Jay, what I'd rather have. I'd rather have a dominant paint presence. I'd rather have a dominant paint presence than a guy who's going the other way as a defender on the way. I'd much
Okay,
rather have
Let
that.
me correct
I'd
myself.
much rather have a
Mikal
guy
Bridges
who's
is
an elite
better. He's not
rebounder, an
way
elite
better.
rim protector. I'd love
Okay.
that.
Okay. Chill. I think you just like this archetype. Evan Mobley.
No,
Alex
let's
Sarr.
continue
I
with
think
the
you like
with
this
the rest of the
archetype.
6.
However,
let's continue with,
unlike-
That's what I'd like.
continue with the rest
That
of
real
the
quick.
six.
Can we get
Other
that
niggas
real
play
Continue
quick?
with the
better
rest
than
of the
Alex Sarr.
6.
Yeah, let's get
Yeah.
back to that. Let's do that.
Continue with the rest of the
Because
6.
Okay, hang on. Let me pull up.
Bridges was number 2.
Let me pull up the
You
next
said OG.
roster. Hang
You
on.
said
One second.
OG.
One second.
We're not
You
going
said
off
Mitchell
the numbers,
Robinson.
Penn. We're not going off the numbers.
I'm not
No.
looking up the numbers. I'm looking
No.
up the roster.
We said OG. All right? And I'll give you
Hang on.
OG.
Hang
You
on,
said
hang on,
Mitchell
hang on.
Robinson. I think Mitchell Robinson is a better glass cleaner. I'll give you that. No question about
But
that.
chill, does Penn have a point? Do you just have a type? He trying to say he trying to say you like the light skin thick Johns. You don't like, you know what I'm saying? You don't like the
Okay,
big
first and
folks.
foremost,
we all like him.
Here's the thing, though, Jay. And here's the thing, though, Jay. We all got a type. I am more of the uber athletic wing, right? The uber athletic wing, and the 2 guard who has got a money mid-range game. You know how I feel about him. But you also know how I feel about the big guy. And the thing that I think about when it comes to big guys, doing big guy things. Alex Sarr does big guy things. He gets on the glass. He protects the rim. He protects the paint. He might not be Kevin Garnett mean. No, he isn't. He might not be touching the top of the box and rebounding like Chamberlain. But I can tell you one thing he will do. He will compete on the defensive end. He will block shots. He will bolster your defense. He is not a mismatch when we're switching like Cat is. He is not lunch out there. No, he 100% makes your defense better just off the strength of him being able to switch, him being able to not just shoot gaps, but him being able to get in space in the interior where he can be successful. I loved everything about Alex Sarr as a defender, 100%. And when Washington starts to understand what they actually have and he continues to improve and they start running stuff for him, watch how much better he gets.
Okay, I have the roster in front of me. So here's the list. Here is the list.
Let's
Okay,
hear it.
so let's go with the first obvious one, right? Which is clearly Mitchell Robinson. Okay. OG Anunoby is my second obvious one. Mikal Bridges and Deuce McBride. Those are 4 very obvious. Okay.
Nuts to me.
No, it's not.
Wait. One more time.
What?
Pin, I'm sorry.
Deuce
Sorry,
McBride
one
is
more
nuts to you?
Just one more
Go
time.
ahead.
So Deuce, Mitch,
OG,
And Mikhail.
Mikhail.
Mikhail. Okay. Now,
Damn,
I'm going to give
Deuce.
you one that you're not going to agree with, and I know you're not going to agree with it. Josh Hart.
That defense is
Yeah,
overrated.
absolutely not.
That defense
Okay.
is way overrated. Mm-mm.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
And I'm going to give you another one.
A lot
that
of
you
lot of
definitely-
makeup and nice clothes. Underneath that is a 4.
Okay, fine. Let's leave him out. Let's leave Josh Hart out, even though I think the versatility is very valuable, and I think his activity level and his rebounding is great.
I mean,
Okay,
Deuce
let's leave him out.
McBride isn't either.
I'm
No.
gonna give you two
isn't
more
real
that you're
talk.
definitely not gonna agree with, because if you had, I'm pretty sure you had issues at Mitchell Robinson. So I mean,
I do.
shit, like we are very far apart. Huckaporty, Ariel Huckaporty,
No.
hell yes.
We're not being serious.
And
right now.
Jeremy Sohan. There's
No,
respect.
we're
We're
not
not
being
being
serious. Real
serious.
talk.
We are being
You're
dead
not.
serious.
Whoa,
Jeremy
no.
Sohan is a
Pin-
better defender.
Pin,
No,
you,
we
got-
not.
you could have at least said Jose Alvarado. Like,
Why? Because he gets steals.
well, I'm just saying that you could have at least said Jose. I don't got Jose. I definitely don't. I'm just saying, like, you could have went with Jose. I mean,
No.
yeah, well, I'm saying, we
This
we would have all
this
shot that down
reputation.
too.
This is reputation, bro.
No.
At this
I don't got
point.
Jose. I don't got Jose. I would have shot.
Now-
We would have shot Jose down too. But
All
like,
this being said,
Jeremy
if
Sohan,
Alex
come on, bro.
Sarr gets onto a competitive defensive team, the talent is there to be a very, very good defender. I'm talking like maybe third, fourth team defender. But at this moment, where he is right now, the team he plays for right now, the
Sure.
His
season
rim
he's having
protection
right
numbers
now,
are good right now.
that's
So
it.
what are they going to look like? Real talk. When he
What
got
you mean,
Anthony
that's
Davis
good?
playing with him.
It's going to look great.
look really good.
How much better is it going to look when he got Anthony Davis playing with him? And you think that George is better than him as a defender. So what is it going to look like with Anthony Davis and George playing with him?
I mean, it can all look better. And when you're in a winning context, you're trying to win basketball games, maybe you play
Because
better defensively.
it sounds to me, Penn, like Mikal Bridges is that kind of defender because of the other 5 defenders that he's running with.
Hell no. Mikal Bridges has been that
chill,
dude in
the
three
thing,
different
the
stops.
thing about in chill, and I know that you know this, especially from being an athletic wing. My teammates make me a better defender.
Sure.
In the game of basketball, one person on defense isn't enough. It isn't enough. I can be a good defender all I want to be. It's not going to be enough. I need you and at least you and you to get down with me on the defensive end for me to have a real impact. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
I need at least 3 guys over on this defensive end for me to at least to have a real impact, bro. So like there are players that are really good defenders on this team, and they're still really good defenders on this team, but they just don't look like it anymore.
Well, I can tell you this. I can tell you this, Penn, and I'm not really sure how we got on this conversation because we were talking about the draft, and I do know how we got on this conversation. I'm sorry. We were talking about the draft and being able to build your unit around guys, and I feel like I feel like with a guy like Alex Sarr, I feel like with franchise players, when you get it right in the draft, I feel like when you get it right in the draft, you're not going to be able to hold on to these guys for 8 years, 9 years like you would in the past because of the new CBA. Because like I said, Penn, that's a different conversation. But for the time being, you do have to build around these guys because I got a short amount of time that I have SGA and J-Dub.
I think you missed my point about the restricted free agency. It's not about how long you can hold on to them. It's about how the team that's bad can poach your players now through restricted free agency.
I do remember saying that.
Yeah, because we got a hard cap now. There's real financial pain for going into the second apron and staying there. So teams like OKC, especially San Antonio, we're talking about like the future dynasties of the NBA right now with all this young talent. These players are expensive. You're not going to be able to keep everybody. At some point, the decision will have to be made based on a roster construction basis within 3 to 4 years, maybe even within 2 years on De'Aaron Fox. So at that point, you're going to have to, it's the same thing with OKC. Like they're going to have to get rid of Lou Dort. They're going to have to probably not, pick up the option on Isaiah Hartenstein. There's your starting center. You don't need to be bad to do this. You could just sign Isaiah Hartenstein. The Knicks signed Isaiah Hartenstein because he was a backup with the LA Clippers. And once again, the analytics showed that he was good enough to be a starter. And yet, when he got to New York, he wasn't given the starting job because he had the term of a backup until Mitchell Robinson went out. Then he was a starter. And then he was amazing. And then everyone knew that he was amazing. So his price went up. But I guarantee you, OKC knew how good this guy was right away. I'm just saying.
Do you think that do you think Jokic is a better defender than Alex Sarr?
I plead the fifth.
I'm going to take that as a yes, Penn. You think he is?
Of course I do.
You think he? I think you think.
Yeah,
course
that's
I do.
absolutely ridiculous.
I'm just saying, real talk. I know. I know that.
Zero intellectual curiosity, but it's okay. Like
Because you're not saying anything intellectual.
So Penn. So
If
Penn,
you were
when
saying
look at-
something smart, I would be curious about it.
Penn, when you and I really should. I really shouldn't even entertain this, real talk. But I am. But what I am going to do is I'm going to sit down with this mid chick and I'm going to have a cup of coffee. Penn, why is Joker a better defender than Alex Sarr? Go.
He's a way better rebounder, better post defender. He's better in the gaps. He's way more intelligent when it comes to anticipation, pattern recognition, all the stuff I talk about. He's a better communicator on that end. Like he's anchoring a defense which features a lot of weak defenders. Like there are weak defenders on his team and they are able to win basketball games. Also, and because I connect offense and defense very much in my head, because we're not playing football here. This is not one and then another line change. How he is able to capitalize on misses to me is part also of his defense. If
His offense is his defense.
No, his offense is well. I mean, okay. Again, I've tried to get this take off a few times, and people always just want to shut it down with like screaming. But there's not a lot of screaming going on right now. So
who's screaming?
I'm listening to you.
Jay, are you screaming, Jay?
I am.
Are you screaming?
Okay, like,
No.
like,
as you were saying,
past, present, different timelines.
Sure.
Real talk.
As you were saying,
So,
man.
if the reason I value defensive rebounding so much, as I've said before, is the most efficient offense comes off of offensive rebounds, right? Putbacks, corner threes, swing outs. These are the most efficient shots.
Actually,
so we have to value that.
Shots are open shots. That's the most.
Well, the whole point is like chill. Think of it this way. Why do we have De'Aaron Fox? Why do we have De'Aaron Fox? Why do we have John Morant in his prime? To collapse the defense. But you know what else collapses the defense? A shot. So box out assignments, people going to the rim. So on that set, imagine the moment the rim, the ball hits the rim, right? Y'all can throw all the tomatoes you want, just chill. So in the chat, chill chat.
I'm listening.
You throw the ball at the rim. At that moment, the offense is expecting for the defense to get the ball, and the defense is expecting them to get the ball. So everyone kind of starts to leak out. They go towards the rim, and suddenly you have a complete destabilized floor. So now if somebody sneaks in and gets an offensive rebound, there's maybe no one at the rim because the person who was supposed to get the defensive rebound is falling out of bounds, or they're coming down, or the corner assignment is not there. Shooters are completely wide open. And in that 1 second after the offensive rebound is the most efficient shot. The team that gets an offensive rebound and then surveys is the stupidest team. The team that gets the offensive rebound right away and throws it. And it's the same thing can happen with defensive rebound. Off the defensive rebound, there's usually like a 2-second moment in which a player like a Draymond Green or a Nikola Jokic or somebody like that could capitalize on the openings in transition. The earliest, the best shots you're going to get are in transition. Transition offense is way more efficient than half-court offense. The other thing is on the other side of transition offense, when you think about it, if Nikola Jokic is able to generate such efficient offense for the Nuggets, they don't play transition defense as much, which means the other team always has to take it out of bounds. That's why Nikola Jokic almost always has a positive impact on his team's defense. Now, you won't consider this defensive impact, but his team's defense is greatly impacted by his presence on the floor, which is to say, if I just watch Jakob Poeltl and I watch Nikola Jokic, I would assume Jakob Poeltl's a better defender. He moves his feet a little bit better. He's got longer arms. He's taller. He's, but I know the Raptors defense will be better with Jokic. I know that 100%. We got the rim protection in Scotty Barnes. We got decent point of attack defense with Emmanuel Quickley. So, again, players like this, they're very positive defensively, but not in.
So it sounds to me like everything that you're saying, Penn, is the reason why Denver's defense is what it is largely due to Joker being what he is. That's what it sounds like. As an interior defender.
It's largely because the things that he does well on defense are complemented by the things that he doesn't do well on defense. Like without Aaron Gordon, it would fall apart. without Peyton Watson, without Christian
Right,
Brown being
because
who
he's
they
an
are.
actual bad defender. Like
And they're
whenever
covering
I ask,
for him.
whenever I ask this question,
No.
I don't know. Like, first off, offensive rebounding, the teams that even do it the best are getting what? They have what, a high 20s, low 30s offensive rebounding percentage. Like the threat of that is so minuscule, or even the totality of it in a game is so minuscule that yes, is rebounding important? Absolutely. I'm not even going to sit here and act like it's not important.
Real
But
talk,
that's
the best
not
offensive
the
rebounding team in the league. Really quickly, real talk. The
Mhm.
best offensive rebounding team in the league is the Rockets. They get 15 a game. That's the best we doing.
That's the
That's
best.
the
So
lot
that's
of possession. That's the
That's
best
That's
15.
a lot of possession.
Right. So the point is that when we ask why is he a good defender, people start, Jay, talking about reasons after the team has already missed the goddamn shot. So let me rephrase the question. What is Nikola Jokic doing to impact other teams missing? So let's start there.
Okay,
Go
this is like here's
Wait,
the thing.
real quick, Pin.
Mhm.
I'm not trying to get off of this, but
Yeah.
as you know, I got a time limit to where
We got a commercial break.
We got to do our thing.
Got to
yo.
pay some bills.
Let me take care of that, and then we'll get back to this, and then we'll get into some super chat time. But that's a great question, real talk. A question I've been wanting answered for years now. We'll get to that. But
What are you doing to
first,
big teams miss shots?
that's what defense is.
That's really all it is.
Not rebounding the ball after you miss the shot. How do you stop him from missing shots? But wait. Let's get into this first, Sean.
Absolutely.
Because let's talk about Splash Sports, a great place to be. Quick Picks on Splash Sports is the DFS game you've been waiting for. This isn't you versus some algorithm or sports book. It's you versus other sports fans. Real competition, real skill. The playing field is completely level. That means you get bigger payouts and more ways to win. Just your picks against theirs. It's not like the other guys where you're going against computers and whatnot, y'all. You're really making picks. I'm going to show you how to do it right now. Let's do this, y'all. So, y'all got any games today y'all want to do, or are we just going to go around the board and just grab randoms? What y'all want to do? We got Toronto versus Miami. You into that, Pin? We got New York versus Boston. How you feel about that, Jay? I'm going to leave it up to y'all. Houston versus Philly.
Houston gonna be a good game.
Uh-huh.
Oh man.
Okay, let's do that. Philly, Houston. Let's go there, yo. Let's go
Yeah.
there. Philly, Houston. Who wants to kick this off? Joel Embiid.
Take the
playing.
over on Embiid points.
The more on Embiid.
Yeah, he finna get busy.
The under on
Embiid. No.
under on
Less and more.
Let's go. What you want, Jay? Less on who?
Sengun, his whole line, whatever his points, assist, rebound is. Take whatever.
So
Less?
on the
You sleep,
PRA.
Jay. You sleep.
Sengun being a
I bet my
less
money, not
on
my
the
heart,
PRA.
brother.
This is
I'm betting with my money here, not my heart.
Sengun is a less.
Not happening.
Chill.
I
How you
feel
feel
it.
about him in tonight? Tyrese Maxey, Quentin Grimes, Tari Eason. Hold on, let me see something real quick. About
they got
Tari.
their season on the line right now.
You got any threes on here? Oh,
Philly gonna be desperate, man.
Okay.
So
which one
who
is
is
them,
who is
Chill?
the
Okay.
player that shows up for them when they're desperate?
Paul George.
I don't think
like
so.
the-
I
don't
would
like the
think
sound of that at all.
like
He been hooping. He been hooping. Though.
he has been, but now the games are important. How's
Are you trying to make the argument Paul George didn't show up? What are you talking about?
I mean, I might be trying to make that argument.
He's a historic shower upper. He's.
Shower upper. I'm
I
gonna
can't
use
think
that.
of a time where he didn't show up. I don't know. I can't think of it.
It's never happened.
I'm
Ever.
gonna use that. What are we looking at, Ox? Do we have a specific game or
Yeah, we're doing Philly, Houston.
Philly, Houston? Okay.
Yeah. So far, we got Joel Embiid, Moore on his points, and then we got.
I ain't gonna lie. I didn't think the
we got
line was that
Sengun.
high.
We got
28 and a
we got-
half is high.
Yeah, we got Sengun being a Leicester. What you want to do? So you want to be is Embiid a Leicester tonight? We'll switch it up.
Hell no.
No,
He about to take Sengun lunch. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's why I know he's gonna fry Sengun, but like, damn, 20.
Sengun might get in foul trouble in like the third, and then hey,
This is gonna be it should be a close game. It should go down to the wire. I can see him playing. So, what you want?
I'm liking that Amin Thompson 17 and a half. I'm gonna take the more on that.
okay, Joe.
Man, get
I'm gonna
busy,
take the
man.
more on that. Yeah, I think he can give me
Okay,
18 to
that's-
20.
That's 3. I want to go one more, or should we just leave it here? Sounds like y'all.
Oh, Barry, look at Barry threes.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, real talk. You be watching the games. Okay, real
Oh,
talk.
Not,
Yeah.
nothing,
Yeah, okay, real
nothing,
talk.
not on there.
See, that's why they
No
hired him,
threes.
because he been smacking them.
Yep.
Okay.
Real talk.
Well, you know what, y'all? Let's just leave it where it is, man. Let's just leave it where it is. How y'all feel about that? Or, unless y'all got something.
What
right
does Reed Shepherd look like with the long ball? Are we just gonna leave KD? If you're going with Embiid, yeah, I'll take them all on KD. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yes, I
I'm
will.
not mad at that. I mean, it's Kevin Wayne.
It is Kevin Wayne.
Absolutely.
It's Kevin Wayne.
All right, y'all. Well, that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna leave it, y'all. We took Joel Embiid more than 28.5 points. We took Alperen Şengün to be a Leicester on his PRA. Amin Thompson more than 17.5 points, and to wrap it all up, Kevin Durant more than 25.5 points. So that's all you got to do, y'all. Make sure you use code CHOICE on Splash Sports and get a free $50 deposit when you play your first $5. That's right. You heard me. $50 when you play your first 5. That's all there is to it, y'all. Make sure you get in there, and we'll see you in the winner's circle. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Ox,
What's up?
I didn't know your favorite player was impersonating Cat Williams yesterday.
Who you talking about?
Kawhi Leonard, because he got whooped by all them little boys. You remember you were saying?
Oh,
You remember you were saying?
I thought DG was playing.
No, he got whooped.
I thought DG was playing. That's a big deal to me. I think DG is a big deal to that basketball team. I didn't get a chance to watch the game, but after I figured when I saw that they lost, I figured y'all was gonna have something to say about it. But
Speaking of having something to say
for
about
sure,
it, like, what are the odds that tomorrow night, like that's for all the marbles?
Yeah,
that's what we had.
Not necessarily true, because the Kings and the Warriors could throw a wrench in that, depending on how it goes.
They could.
The Clippers do got to play the Warriors, and the Blazers got to play the Kings. And after the fact that the Kings are about to get fined $20 million and lose their first round draft pick because of that bullshit they just did, they might come to Portland to play on Sunday. So Portland better get it together. So right now the Clippers are still one full game up on the Blazers.
That's correct.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So if the Blazers win on Friday and then beat the Kings, and if obviously the Clippers lose on Friday and then lose to Golden State, then the tiebreaker will go to Portland because they'll be up 2-1 on the season, right?
So they went. So they end up as of right now, they are literally a game behind them. That's it.
Yeah,
One game.
So tomorrow's game is going to matter. And for all of y'all that don't know, the panel will be there live at the MODA Center. The first podcast to stream at the NBA arena before a game is us. We're setting trends, y'all, doing big things. We'll be at the MODA Center. Make sure that you're there, and if not, just make sure you tap in, man. Send super chats, we'll read them, all that. You know how we do, y'all. Anyways, if anybody wants to answer Real Talk's question, we can do that, or we can move on.
No, Ox, not anybody. Penn, what exactly does Joker do to stop the other team from putting the ball in the basket?
Well, answer your question with one of the most traumatic moments of my life. The Sacramento Kings come into Toronto, and Precious Achiuwa gets what feels like 800 offensive rebounds on us. There is a possession show,
yes, sir,
where DeMar DeRozan misses a shot at the rim, and Sandro Mamukelashvili is there.
Mamu.
Scotty Barnes is underneath the rim. DeMar DeRozan is out of bounds. The ball bounces. Nobody grabs it. DeMar grabs it, puts it back up. Nobody stops him. Defense does not end until you secure the defensive rebound.
Correct.
The idea that defense is all about making players miss is frankly foolish. It is not about making players miss. It is about organizing the court in a way to get back on offense. That means you do not send 4 players scrambling out to the corner shooter and then leave all the offensive rebounds open. Somebody got to box out.
Well, no, because that's just bad defense.
No, it's not bad defense.
I'm a huge
I thought
fan of it.
I thought
No,
defense was about making people miss. So make a miss.
If four play, no. If four, that's bad defense, Pin. So
Okay.
while you're trying to make an argument by making foolish defenses, then you're creating a bad defense to try to prove your point.
Okay,
That's
cool.
foolish.
Okay, so
I liked your point, Penn. I understand. I'm with you.
I know you do. Like
That was
here's the thing.
terrible, Jay.
Okay,
That was
so
terrible.
hang on.
And
Oz,
you know what, Jay?
Oz.
You know what, Jay? If Mitchell Robinson, Karl Anthony Towns, Mikal Bridges, and OG Anunoby all close out on one player and leave Jalen Brunson out by himself
That's
to rebound,
goofy as
that's
hell.
foolish defense.
Hang on.
Well, that's not what he's. That's not what he's saying, though.
This is really not
He's
the
trying
point.
to highlight the importance of offensive rebound and
How
setting
was
up
he
your
trying to
defensive
highlight?
possession.
I am a
He's
huge
trying to
fan of
highlight
defensive
that by bringing up
Jay,
terrible
stop
defense,
trying
Jay.
to-
Don't
stop
fall for this.
Yeah, Jay, stop trying to rationalize this dumbass point because it works the same way in reverse. Because I
Jay,
could
you're
say,
gonna-
hey,
you're gonna hurt
if
yourself,
you,
Jay.
Jay, if you don't have enough resistance to make them miss the shot in the first place, the fuck do we care about your rebounding for if they're just making the shot?
Okay, so real talk.
Sorry, Penn.
What's the team that you what's the team that you most follow? Real talk.
He a Laker guy. He is. He's a Laker
Who's the
guy.
worst shooter on your team? Real talk.
The worst shooter is probably the
Jared
left-handed
Vanderbilt.
dude. Yeah, the left-handed.
Ah,
Jared
Vando. Shout outs to Vando. So Vando is in the corner, and Vando gets the ball with 2 seconds to go on the clock. Is the goal of the defense to stop Vando from scoring?
No.
Why isn't it? Yes, it is. It's absolutely
The hell it is.
We'll
No.
live with
We
him
back
scoring.
off.
Knock
We
yourself
back
out.
off.
Wait,
To do
where
what,
is he
though?
on the court?
To do what?
Why
though?
would he be at the 3-point line with 2.2 seconds?
Okay, that's the
He
offense.
should be cutting to the rim at 2 seconds.
Yeah,
So if he catches the ball, in the middle of the lane, diving to the rim, because that's realistic. Diving to the lane and catches it right above at the hash. We're just gonna watch him like, no, back up, wait for the rebound.
Okay, stop changing the scenario. The scenario is simple. Jared Vanderbilt is
You
in
heard
the
him.
corner.
Who came up with this
Jared
scenario?
Vanderbilt is
You
in
can't
the
live in
corner.
this fantasy
Jared
land for your-
Vanderbilt is in the
Vando
corner.
screamed and they pushed him
Vando is
out
in
to
the
the three.
corner. Somebody got trapped. There's 2 seconds to go. Vando catches the ball. There's
Knock
not enough
yourself
time
out.
to pass. There's not enough time to drive. Vando
Knock
got to
yourself
shoot.
out, brother. Yep.
Vando is my man. So I'm supposed to guard him. Am I running out to him?
No.
No, I'm not. You know
Like,
why?
like that.
I'm boxing out. I'm boxing out because I am gonna anticipate that 80% of the time this dude's about to miss this shot. See the point? Now, it's the same thing. Like,
No, because
man,
that's
like
not. That's
y'all
not
gotta think about this
how
like a
that
coach and stop
usually
thinking about
works.
this like fans on the internet. This is not.
We're not
I'm
thinking
thinking-
about it like
I'm
fans
thinking
on
about
the
this like
internet.
a
We're
coach.
thinking about it like
and
a
honestly,
coach.
every disrespectful thing I'm saying is right now directed to Real Talk. Let's just be real. I'm not funneling my
God.
disrespect to nobody
What is-
else up here. It's
what
just you.
What is
Okay,
happening
because
right
you wanted to say that I'm a dumbass for this, but I'm trying to tell you
No, I said
this
you
is
said
100% the
something
way a
But
coach would think.
I
this.
do think you are one. So you're
Those two things are not the same thing, real talk.
But no,
Those
but-
two
but-
things are
hold
like
on,
me
hold
saying
on,
something
hold
dumb
on.
does not make me a dumbass. Those two
But
things
wait,
are not
wait,
the
but
same
let's
thing.
before
Bro,
before
look,
I might have said
this
some dumb
before
shit.
this
Let's
goes
be for
any,
real.
before this goes anywhere else, because let's keep it where we are. Yes, you're right about that, Pin, but that doesn't prove your point.
Yes, it
You
does.
are trying to create the
You
perfect
told me defense
scenario.
was the point.
You
the
are
point
trying.
of
You are
defense
trying
is
to. You are
to
trying to
stop
create.
this.
You are trying to create a scenario to make that nonsense sound
Yeah,
like
that-
it's not
yeah,
nonsense.
exactly.
Of course,
But that
I'm
scenario
not gonna,
happens
I'm
in
not,
every
of
game
course,
5
I'm not,
times.
Of course, I'm not gonna 5 times. How many possessions are in a basketball game, Pin?
Almost 100.
And we're worried about 5% of these is gonna be what
Yes,
proves
because
your
5%
point.
is a small number, but you know what? 5% of possessions is usually the swing in a game.
So you're telling me that
What's the
of
average
this
margin of
five-
diff-
this-
what's the
so
mar-
you're
average
telling
margin
me
of
that
difference?
This 5%.
No
This
intellectual curiosity up here, bro.
No basketball knowledge up here from you.
Okay,
That's what
buddy.
it is, bro. That's what it is.
See,
Simple.
we see when
No,
we don't
see,
when we
nothing,
can't
bro.
we can't
No.
deal with a
Because-
point.
because when
we
you- because
jump
you-
to
no,
ad
no, 'cause you're
hominem
not-
attacks,
because you're not,
and
no,
that's
no,
okay.
That's what you're
No
up here
basketball
doing, Pin.
knowledge,
You're
too
trying-
dumb,
none.
too stupid.
Well, that's what you just said. That's what you
Okay.
said. No intellectual curiosity.
Oh
you
my
try to do
God.
that, but when it comes back to you, you can't handle it. You're melting,
Bruh.
You're melting.
Bruh.
Literally.
If you got-
you need
For
no,
fuck's sake.
Chill. He needs this. Chill. He needs this.
Nah.
You
Christ.
got to understand something, Pin. Just
No,
you
you
can't-
gotta
you can't
understand
tell-
something.
You can't say that 5% of the time this happens So not closing out means that's how what defense is all about. Defense is about stopping the other team from scoring. If I can't stop the other team from scoring,
So-
my rebounding ability means nothing.
Hey, genius. Why did Vando
Nothing.
catch the ball?
Nothing.
Why is Vando the one
Nothing.
that's open?
Nothing.
Why is Vando open?
Nothing.
Why does LeBron have to
Nothing,
swing the ball to?
But this is the thing. Once again, you're talking about something that happens in what you said.
Why
5%
is
of the
Vando
time.
open?
What
It's a
about-
simple
what
question.
about the-
Why is
what about the
Vando
other
open?
95?
Why
What
is
about the
Vando
other-
open?
I'm done with that crazy hypothetical of about 5% of the game that's supposed to make your point sound logical, bro. This is what you got to at some point accept the fact that the other 95% of the time we're not
did Bron have to swing the ball?
How many
Is it
corner
because
threes,
LeBron
how many
was
corner threes
double
is Vando
teamed?
shooting a game? Real talk. Per game, how many corner threes
One.
is Vando shooting?
Yeah, like
One.
1.3.
And
I
that,
think.
and that ain't even every game.
What?
He play like every
let's,
other
okay,
game.
so then let's just move
He's
on.
actually been out of the rotation.
So let's just move on. That's not. It's not happening, bro. It's not happening.
Okay, listen. I know that maybe there's a segment of people up here, and maybe even people in the chat that think I'm an idiot, but I promise you I am not. You may disagree with me, and you can do so respectfully. I have covered this game professionally and have been paid to do so for almost 20 years. I have written hundreds of articles on this sport. I have created a platform on this sport, and to the point of questioning my intelligence, I got a scholarship to the best
You
freaking
do it all the
university
time.
in Canada.
Yeah,
I
you
am
do it
not
all the time.
real talk. I can disagree with you without having to resort to the levels that you want to go to. You, anytime I talk, and be like, "This is a dumbass take, Ken." Okay, so deal with what I'm actually saying. The goal
said
of
it
a
all
defense
before. We
is to
all
get
said it all
back
before.
on offense. The
get the
goal
ball
of
back,
the defense is to
100%.
get the ball back.
That's correct.
Now the question
No,
that
because
I
I
kept
can
asking,
get the ball. No, I can get the ball back on offense after you score. The goal
but
of the defense is not to get back on offense. The goal of the defense is to stop them from scoring
Right.
and getting back on offense.
The goal
of
of
the defense
defense-
is not to get back on offense
the
because I
goal
can
of
get
the
back on
defense is
offense
to take
after you
away
score the ball.
what offense
After you-
wants
after
to
you
do.
score-
So
after-
if
okay, well,
offense
say-
wants
well,
to
say that
run
part.
pick and roll with LeBron and Luka, with LeBron going downhill and Luka as the ball handler, then the goal of the offense is to stop that action
we
and to
get back
force
on
and to
defense,
delay.
on offense?
The clock is your
Rebound
friend. The
defense.
clock is a sixth defender. Hold on. There's more than 5 defenders on the court. I'll tell you that
Yeah.
right now. There's the
Yeah, we
clock.
know.
That's your sixth defender. There's the baseline and the sideline. That's your
Mhm.
sixth and seventh. That's your seventh and eighth defender. If you can force a guy into a corner and trap him, and he's a good shooter, you're in a good position. If you can get the ball away from the
That's
middle,
good
that's a
defense.
good thing. If you can get the ball out of the lead decision maker's hand, that's a good thing. If you can
Good
close out to the
defense.
shooter and force the shooter to drive into help, that is a good thing.
defense.
There's a reason why I'm not closing out to Vando, but this is the same reason why I'm not that I'm trapping LeBron and forcing him to pass to Vando. I'm passing because I'm doing that because I am punishing the Lakers for even having Vando on the court, and that's why Vando ain't on the court. Your insistence that he only shoots 1-3 a game is irrelevant. There's a reason he shoots 1-3 a game because they don't
What's
play
that
him.
reason?
Because they play him in the dunker spot, because he crashes the offensive rebound, because when he's in the corner, they kind of avoid that corner. There's a reason why, because he don't play a lot of minutes.
Right.
If he was taking 8 threes a game, it does not help the Lakers. It helps me. But if Steph Curry gets the ball above the break and I send two defenders to Steph Curry, that's not stupid defense. That's just how it is. I got to send 2 shooters because the efficiency of that shot, it's the same way I got to guard Kawhi. I double Kawhi. I will double Kawhi, but I will not double Jokic. Why?
If Steph Curry catches the ball with 2 seconds left and 2 people close out on him, that is bad defense.
No, it's not. It's great.
There is no reason for 2 people to be closing out on anybody with 2 seconds left on the clock.
Find me a team that's ever stopped Steph Curry with 1 person, and I'll give you a gold medal.
2 seconds left on the clock, Pin.
Mm-hmm.
2 seconds left on the clock. There is no reason for 2 people to be running out on Steph Curry.
Well, that's not necessarily the point here. The point is ideally he's coming off a screen, so you'll have a rear contest or a side contest, and you have somebody in front of him to deter him from getting any further. So putting up a hand in front of his face.
2 seconds?
With 2 seconds? Yeah, sure. Steph is that level of shooter. You definitely need
But I'm saying how much.
I'm not saying you gotta throw 2 people at him. I'm saying you need 2 people to stop Steph Curry.
He doesn't even have time to pump fake and drive and go anywhere. So the second guy, he doesn't even. It's 2 seconds.
2 seconds of a lifetime in the NBA, bro.
Oh shit! All right,
Absolutely.
let's
it
get
is.
these super chats.
Penn, I just want to go on record. I do hear your point, but I'm just getting airtime on the show, so I gotta side with the majority. But I do hear you, Penn. I'm with you. I'm
Yo,
still haven't
you
gotten
you
that.
you are a real live person agreeing with me. But if you did this online, they would tell you were my burner. So like, hey man, appreciate it.
I hear you, Penn.
Still haven't gotten a satisfactory answer on how Joker keeps the ball.
He didn't have one. Chill. Let's get to the.
No, I
season.
had plenty. You just talked
He
right
didn't
over it.
have
It's
one.
okay. It's okay.
Just sometimes
I didn't get off that real talk. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I
Sometimes-
just
I'm still on that.
I
sometimes
just
around here-
it's whatever. It's
Sometimes around here, too, you got to come to terms with the fact that you're never going to get an answer.
Still on that. I'm not
Yeah.
off that.
That's just part of it.
All
It's
right.
It's part of
And
it.
Penn-
Especially a satisfactory one.
Actually coined the phrase of intellectual curiosity with me. So for me to not have any intellectual curiosity when it comes to you, it's quite. I resent that, Penn, because you actually talk to me all the time about me having intellectual curiosity. So I
No,
was
you
very
do.
interested in hearing how Joker keeps the ball out of the basket when when the offense has the ball. I was very interested to hear that.
If you
Only
want to
He's great
answer
at
that,
boxing out.
do you want
He's
to
great
answer
at
that?
communicating. Great communicator.
So boxing out
He's-
keeps the ball at the basket.
the second time around. Yeah, I
offensive
guess
rebounds
so.
put balls in the basket.
All right,
Second
bro.
time.
Yeah, but okay. All right. Now you
Yeah.
are right about that part. So if you don't got an answer,
Let me
for
put
that,
it this
let's
way:
just-
if Nikola
Wait,
Jokic
do you
does
have an
refuses
answer
to
for
grab a
yes or no?
defensive
Because
rebound,
I want to know, should I keep? Are we doing crunch time chats,
go
or are
ahead,
you
go
going to
ahead, go
explain
ahead,
it
go
to
ahead.
us?
I guarantee you
cool.
one of these chats is probably going to pertain
Cool,
to
cool,
it. So it's
cool.
fine.
Oh, please, God, don't. Begging you. I'm begging you, please don't. Tupac West Side. Morning, fellas. Not gonna lie, I'm having a hard time understanding the anti-tanking rules. It doesn't seem to really penalize owners that don't prioritize winning. Hope y'all in the chat can walk me through it.
Okay, shout out to Tupac
we
West Side,
touched
man.
it.
You hit it on the nose. It doesn't penalize owners who need to be penalized.
I mean, they end up paying $100,000, $200,000. Yeah.
Oh my God.
$100,000.
Yeah, that really ain't a lot of money if we're being honest.
They make it out of hot dogs. Come on.
What ultimately happens is when you lose these draft picks, that's what throws a monkey wrench in everything that you're doing, because the weaker teams in the league who actually depend on their draft picks, like Utah, like New Orleans, like Memphis, if I don't have my first round pick, it could set me back 4 or 5 years. So, I mean, this anti-tanking rule, quote unquote, I do think that it's good because it's going to help teams. It's going to make teams play their guys more. But if in the end, Penn, if I'm whack, you can't change that. I'm whack. That's really the end of it. Whether I got my guys on the floor or I don't, I'm whack as hell. And I'd like to get better. So we got a draft coming up. I don't know. It's 2027 or 2028. We got a draft coming up. We've got some really good players in this draft. So I'd like one of these picks. And the only way for me to get it is I've already played my players for the majority of the season. And we've only been able to come up with about 26 wins. We are garbage. So
Sure.
because we are trash, I need one of these picks so I can replace one of these guys so I can get better. How else am I going to do that?
Chill. Can you think of an NBA champion that didn't have a top 5 pick?
Can I think of an NBA champion who didn't have a top 5 pick? Yeah, the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis was not a top 5 pick. Neither was Drew Holiday.
Can you think of an NBA champion that didn't have
was
a
Brook on
lottery
that team?
pick?
Can I think of an NBA champion who
Brooke
didn't
wasn't
have
a top 5 pick.
Brooke didn't go top 5?
No.
Can I think of an NBA
Curry
champion?
Curry was in the top 5 pick either, huh? Would go to
No,
sleep.
he wasn't.
No, he
But
wasn't.
Curry was a lottery pick. Clay was a
Mhm.
lottery pick. Andre Iguodala was a lottery pick. So we will, and obviously Kevin Durant was a lottery pick.
Sure.
So let's go one step further away from top 5. Can you think of an NBA champion that didn't have a lottery pick?
an NBA
No,
champion.
I don't think that exists.
Mm-mm.
No.
Yeah, Milwaukee.
Oh,
They didn't have any lottery picks.
Yeah, Drew was a lottery pick, wasn't he?
No,
Drew
he
was
wasn't. Drew was
17.
picked in 8. Yeah, I thought he was 18.
Brook-
I thought
Brook
Drew
Lopez.
was like 13.
No, Drew was picked
Brook
18.
Lopez, though.
Brooke Lopez.
Oh, yeah,
Brooke
Brooke.
Lopez
That
was a
was
lottery
going with
pick.
Brooke.
So is that the answer you're going with? It doesn't exist?
An
I mean, how
NBA
far back are you
champion,
going, Pin?
an NBA champion that didn't have a lottery pick.
25 years.
Let's go. So from 2000, okay, the Lakers all had
And lottery is what, top 14?
Mhm.
Rip Hamilton was a lottery pick.
Rashid was a lottery pick too.
She was a lottery
Yeah,
pick in
she-
Detroit. Dwayne Wade was a lottery pick. I think the point Penn you're trying to make is that you can get quality players at 10 or at 8. I think that's what it sounds like we're going here.
I'm
don't
not
have
trying
the
I'm
around
trying to tell you
chill,
can
that's
get
what I was
quality
trying to say
players
earlier.
at 20 and 15. The answer, Cho, that you are looking
Is the
for,
Raptors?
it's the Toronto Raptors. Now, what's kind of interesting about this, Cho, is that there were 3 lottery picks on the Toronto Raptors when they started this We the North thing. It was DeMar DeRozan, who was the 9th overall pick, Jonas Valanciunas, who was the 5th overall pick, and Terrence Ross, who was the 8th overall pick. Shoot me now. Terrence Ross was traded for Serge Ibaka, who was not a lottery pick. DeMar DeRozan was traded for Kawhi Leonard, who was not a lottery pick. Jonas Valanciunas, and by the way, Jakob Poeltl.
Serge Ibaka was a
Jakob Poeltl, and so ironically, the Raptors traded 2 9th overall picks, Jakob Poeltl and DeMar DeRozan, for a 15th overall pick in Kawhi Leonard, and also Jonas Valanciunas, a top 5 pick who was at the time projected to be possibly as high as top 2 at the draft, top 3.
See, but this is nasty, and you know why this is
He was
nasty?
traded
Because
for a
it's
second round pick.
no,
in
this
Marc
is
Gasol.
disgusting. This is why this is nasty.
Danny Green was a second round pick.
Oh, this is nasty
Well,
as hell.
OG
because
How
was
did
what,
the
17?
Spurs? OG was picked 23rd.
OG Anunoby, right? Serge Ibaka was picked 24. Okay, I get that. I get that part. But
Pascal
this is
Siakam,
nasty, man.
27th.
Right.
Why?
This is
Why
nasty.
is it nasty?
The reason why it's nasty is because what you're doing is, Penn, can you give me another team that's won the NBA championship without a lottery pick?
Nope.
You know why you can't? Because that's an anomaly. Most teams that win the NBA championship, they need players who were picked in the top 5 and the top 10. You know why? Because those guys are really fucking good. Most of the guys that are picked in 18, 19, 20, they're not that good, Penn. That's why we ain't winning with them solely. We're solely winning with Olajuwon. You know why? Because he was the best player in the country. He was the number 1 pick. The reason why we're winning with Shaq, because he was the number 1 pick in the draft. That's why we're winning with these dudes. Now, even if it wasn't,
and Hakeem are outliers too.
Even just like this situation is an outlier. Because Penn, what you're leaving out that you traded for Kawhi Leonard, who at that point, at the end of the season, was considered what? Real talk. So I'm clear. At the end of that season, how are we talking about him?
He was considered
the
trash
best player on the planet.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't.
Let me turn my ears up.
No, at the end of 2019, there were fools in around.
Before they traded for him.
Which means, Penn, that if I'm
before they traded for him,
when they traded for him.
No, everybody knew he was good. It was just like, is he going to play?
You're a basketball encyclopedia. So, how many of the following players, who are all first overall picks, by the way, have won an NBA championship? Michael Olowokandi,
0.
Elton Brand,
0.
Kenyon Martin.
But respect Elton Brand now.
Yeah, respect Elton, respect Kenyon. How many championships?
0 for Elton Brand.
Kenyon?
He ran into Shaq. That's just not fair. And Duncan. That's not fair.
Kwame Brown?
0.
Yao Ming? Okay, now LeBron James, we got 4 right there.
Correct.
Dwight Howard, 1. Right? But as a role player and as a backup.
But he also ran
very important role player.
But he also ran into that Laker team.
But hold on, Penn. This is a little disingenuous because you're going from the extreme of the number 1 pick only, right? Not a lottery team, not like a lottery pick, but just the number 1 pick only.
Yeah, but the number 1 pick is supposed to be the best player in the draft. That's what everyone's tanking for. So, assuming that everyone doesn't do the Anthony Bennett thing.
Sometimes you have drafts like 03. Sometimes you have drafts like today
people don't want to realize like Kwame Brown was seen as the best player in that draft class. There was legitimate articles being written about him being the next Kevin Garnett, and I remember reading them and responding to them. I thought it was crazy, but I'm
saying, but that you don't tank only to get the number 1 pick. You tank to get a high pick.
Okay, cool. But if we do the same thing with the number 2 pick, I guarantee you get worse.
Because the thing, just because you read an article about what some guy says, you gotta remember this is still just some guy with a typewriter that thinks, he's the next Kevin Garnett. There is no reason to believe that he's the next Kevin Garnett, besides the fact that I see him dominate some kids in high school. Like, I understand that we watch interviews, I understand that we watch interviews, and I understand that we read articles, but that don't mean shit.
Okay.
You know,
but Tyson Chandler and Kwame Brown were next up, dude.
With owners of basketball teams. You can own a basketball team. That don't mean you know shit about basketball. I can write an article about basketball. That doesn't mean I necessarily should be the voice of reason in basketball.
So who is the voice of reason in basketball? Players?
I would listen to players and coaches more than people that write articles. I would. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you go down the list of number 1 picks, number 2 picks, chill, you're going to see so many misses. We don't think about the misses, but there are so many.
But what about the lottery?
Yes, the lottery in sum total.
How many championships are in the lottery?
But that's crazy, because that's half the draft.
That's the point, Penn.
No, it's not. That's
One
not.
fourth of the draft.
The
The
lottery,
draft,
it's not.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is not successful because he was a lottery pick. He is a lottery pick because he was going to be successful. The argument is backwards. He is also a champion right now because he ended up on a team that understood how to build a championship culture. They know how to draft. They know how to develop. They have.
But they're also a championship team because they have SGA.
Yes, that is a huge component of why they are
Jalen Williams.
Right. When you don't have that player, you're not a championship team.
Who was also
they built a great defense around him. Real talk. There is another world in which SGA is sitting on some sort of tanking team like Washington, being shut down for half.
Thank God we don't live in that world. Thank God we do not live in that space. We don't live there.
But the OKC Thunder deserve a lot of credit for the patience and persistence with which they have built this championship team.
How did they build it? Through other lottery picks? What is Chet?
Through very intelligent trades.
What is Chet? What is Chet?
He was the second pick in the draft.
Okay.
How about J-Dub, real talk?
Those are their 2 best players. They're both lottery picks.
And then they got Jalen Williams.
Usman Jang was a lottery pick. I would tell you Josh Giddey was a lottery pick. Josh Giddey was their own lottery pick. They traded him for Alex Caruso. Usman Jang was a lottery pick. He went ahead of J-Dub. My point is, AJ Mitchell is a huge part of why.
Who was another lottery pick, by the way.
AJ Mitchell was not a lottery pick, Joe.
No, J-Dub was a lottery pick.
J-Dub was a lottery pick. He wasn't their pick, though. That was part of a trade. So once again, my point is,
but it's still a lottery player. So that their best 3 players.
Okay, hold on. J-Dub, prior to the draft, was not supposed to be a lottery pick. I want to be clear about that.
But he ended up.
Did he get picked in the lottery?
Yes, he did. Number 12.
This is irrelevant. No one was picking him in the lottery but that team. No one.
But were they wrong in picking him in the lottery?
He got picked in the lottery. Okay, let's move on, y'all.
Their best 3 players are lottery picks.
That was a dope conversation. That was a dope conversation. But we got to keep it moving, y'all. Y'all know what happened last night, right? The return of Cade Cunningham, something that Penn, you were right about. Cade came back. Last night, played 26 minutes. What y'all think? Did y'all check it out? Who watched the game?
I did.
Anybody see Cade?
Loved it. Looked great.
How does Cade look?
He looks good.
It looks good.
He dunked the ball. He finished at the rim. Made some great passes. Yeah, man. He looks great.
So is he ready for the playoffs, y'all?
No.
He looks like well, it's a good thing that the playoffs don't start today. It's a good thing that they don't start for a couple of weeks. So I do think that he'll be ready in a couple of weeks. Penn, I thought that he was going to be a little gingerly in terms of running. I thought that they were going to handle him a little bit differently, but he looked like if we had a couple more games, like it wouldn't take that long for him to get right back to it. He just looked like, he was knocking the rust off last night. Like he ended up getting an open floor steal. Like he looked really good handling the ball. He looked really good in terms of, because when you're talking about like rib injuries and things like that, when it comes to your breathing, like it's very important to make sure that I'm good. And I got to be really careful about contact because I can get the air knocked out of me. So he looked good dealing with that contact yesterday. So I think it's a good thing to have him back. I was really worried about him, Penn. I'm not going to lie to you. I thought that this was a season-ending injury when I heard about a collapsed lung. I'm like, they might have lost him for the season, only to find out it wasn't that bad. So that's a good thing. And he looked really good last night.
When have I ever steered you wrong?
Y'all
other than Scotty Barnes.
Do y'all remember the first time you ever got the air knocked out you? Like, I remember I was playing Pop Warner the first time I ever got the air knocked out of me. I thought I was done. I was like, I'm out of here. I was like, see ya.
And Penn, to your point of intellectual curiosity, it's actually, and let me rephrase that, it's not actually getting the air knocked out of you. You intake air too quickly. That's really what it is.
Yep.
But with that being said, Ox, to your point, I got the air knocked out of me, and I was like, scared the shit out of me. Straight scared.
I'm laying down. I'm freaking out. I tried to like pop up. My coach just lay down. I was like, but I'm in my mind. I'm like, bro, I'm dying, bro. Like, what do you mean lay down?
That's what happened to me. It was a kickoff play. man, I think we were getting the ball. Man, somebody came out of the blind side of me, knocked the hell out of me. And so I was on the ground. I was like, oh shit, I'm dying. And so my dad was the coach. He came out there. Boy, relax.
Get your
It ain't gonna go away until you relax. I was like, shit, I'm gonna relax. I can't breathe.
I believe I was in I was in the 6th or 7th grade. I was in 6th grade. I'm like, bro, I'm 11. I've only lived 11 years. Like, no, I can't relax. I'm trying, you know what I'm saying? I can't relax
right now.
It's over for me. You know? Yeah, man,
but that's what he looked like, Penn.
To
To answer the question, Penn, he looked really good last night. And
Jay, are y'all shook a little bit?
Why would we be shook?
Well, I mean, I think New York was like, okay, we don't got to worry about them no more. Only thing we got to do is get through Boston and
We got the best team in the
maybe
East.
Cleveland, maybe. I'm just asking.
No,
You know?
no reason to be worried about. When you're the best team in the East, why would you be worried about another team in the East?
No
There's
doubt,
7
no
teams
doubt.
that can realistically win an NBA championship. The Knicks.
How many of
Seven
them are in the East?
Pistons. Pardon?
How many of them are in the East?
3.
Okay, those are
Yeah.
the Pistons, Knicks, and
Celtics. Yep. Sorry, Cleveland. Sorry, Toronto.
Cleveland does not look good. Don't be sorry. They don't look good.
Yeah. I don't trust
Sorry.
Cleveland at
Y'all
all.
still believing in the Knicks?
Who is
Yeah.
y'all? Real talk. What about the Lakers? Like, why every time the Knicks get brought up, you bring like you're not supporting the Lakers
about the
right now.
Lakers.
Wait, real talk. I thought
Talk about the
you
Lakers and
were
the
believing in
Rockets.
the Knicks. Real talk.
I did believe in the Knicks a long time, but
Then he
Tatum's
found that I
back,
believed
so
in them.
Jason
and then he-
Tatum
they're
came back.
better.
Nope.
Yeah, Tatum's back, so they're better. Yeah, it's that simple.
Tatum's back shooting 25 shots and knocking down 10 of them. Oh my God.
So, Jay,
Average,
you're
if
telling
you look at
me that
his
y'all-
last 5
Did
games.
I tell you he's going to be fine?
So
Did I
wait,
tell
so
you he was gonna be fine, Cho?
So Jay, are
You
you
did say
telling me that nobody in Manhattan is at least a little concerned about what's going on in Beantown right now?
Well, nobody lives in Manhattan, but nobody in the New York City area is worried about.
I'm saying because that's where Madison Square Garden is, right, in Manhattan, right?
Not a
34th and 7th Ave. 34th
Okay,
and
so
7th Avenue.
so I mean they not at all concerned about
Negative.
Beantown.
No, we better than those guys.
So the Knicks are winning the East for sure.
We're winning the East and the final. I keep telling you, see y'all for the parade in June. I'm gonna see y'all. What is funny, Chill?
You know what would be nice?
Knicks fans are terrible.
What is
Yo.
funny,
These
Chill?
dudes ain't won the NBA championship since the year I was born. I'm so sick of these dudes, y'all. I swear to God, man.
Well, that's
Yo,
why.
this shit is
That's why
crazy.
That's why you're gonna stay at the motels, and I'm
Oh,
hope
my
these guys up
goodness.
with the passes at the night shit.
Oh, my
Because you're not a
God.
believer.
And just so you
That's
know,
all you-
Cleveland is 110
I'm
in their
not
last
staying
12
down
games.
there,
I just
Jay.
wanna
I'm
put
gonna
that
be
on
on
your
Long. I'm
mind.
gonna be
So
on
if
Long
I had
Island.
to rank,
Because you said they haven't looked good. They won 10 of their last 12 games. I just want to put that on your mind, and including 4 straight. Yeah,
so if I
so
had to rank
they've
out
actually
the
been
East,
playing really well.
if I had to
Let me
rank,
look
out
at
the
this one
East,
streak, Chill.
I
Let me
would
get back to you.
definitely put Detroit at number 1 because I love the energy that they're playing with right now, right? And I'll put Boston number 2, but I really think Knicks are on that like just right there. And then in the West, I got obviously the top 3 teams. I got Denver, I got OKC, I got San Antonio, but then I got Minnesota Timberwolves. I'm just like, how crazy would it be if it was the Knicks versus the Timberwolves in the finals? Because that could happen.
I thought that was going to happen last year, to be honest with you. I did.
I think it
And
really still could happen
thought it
this
was
year.
I thought it was going to be theater, like to have Anthony Edwards on 34th and 7th Ave in the NBA championship, the new face of the league, quote unquote. I thought I thought we were going to get that.
What if we get a Spurs Knicks final, Cho? We get a repeat of 1999, Wemby versus the Knicks, the alien at Madison Square Garden. I mean, there's so many possibilities here. But I do love like the possibilities of every team coming out of the East versus almost every single team coming out of the West. SGA versus the Knicks would be really cool. SGA versus, Wemby, SGA, and Jokic. Like it's kind of good when the stars are in the right place on the right teams, right?
If I'm being honest, and I'm not a Knicks fan at all, but
If only there was a superstar on the Knicks, that'll really boost it up.
Why do Lakers fans feel the need to chime in, bro? Your chance at a championship was over in fucking November, brother. Like nobody believed you guys the whole season. You guys were never a series contender the entire
And yet
season.
we're gonna leave this season with the same amount of championships won this year. So all of that belief
We'll see in
for
June.
what?
We'll see in June.
All of that belief.
You know what they call this? They call this cope. This is cope. This is copium.
Like Lakers fans is worse. You're worse than me,
coping?
real talk.
You
You have to be.
I'm coping.
Wait,
Aren't
real
you?
talk.
What have you won for
Speaking-
me to cope? Wait.
Go ahead,
What have y'all accomplished for me to be coping?
We're a better team right now today. Right now today. Fuck whatever you're talking about. Right now at this
Are
very
you winning a
moment.
championship?
If we played you guys in a 7-game series, yes, we would. We would whip y'all ass.
Actually,
Win in
not
three.
with Luka. Now with the last time we
would
played,
whip
who won?
y'all ass.
The last time we played, who won?
We would whip y'all ass in a
Who
7-game
Can you
series.
answer a direct question, please?
Real
The
talk.
last time we played, who won?
In a 7-game series,
Oh
we
my
would
goodness.
whip
Hey,
y'all
nobody's gonna
ass.
answer a direct question today.
Okay, great. You won the
last
last
time we
regular season
played,
game.
who won?
You won the last regular season game.
Okay,
Yeah.
then. All right, then.
Like, come on.
So,
What
I
are we
don't
talking
know
about?
about all this.
Thanks for
I don't know
answering
about all
the
this
direct
belt.
question, Jay.
Thank you. Yeah,
But
thank
real,
you.
real talk, I want to talk to you about something y'all got going down there in La La Land. So apparently, and this is something I think we already knew, Austin Reaves is seeking that max in his extension will be anywhere from 30 to 40 mil a year. He wants anywhere from 3 to 5 years. Can y'all and will y'all pay him that?
I mean, we're gonna hopefully shoot for the lowest amount per year that we can pay him. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't earned any kind of $40+ million a year contract yet, in my opinion. Hasn't earned it.
Mm-hmm.
We got to see some in the playoffs. Got to make some shake. Because even this year, yeah, you got a great start to the season, but then you ended up getting hurt. Missed a large chunk of the season, right? So we didn't even know if you could sustain that level of play. So you haven't sustained your career year. You have concerns in the playoffs. Some of these teams that we might see in the playoffs, you've been trash, i.e. the Houston Rockets. But now you're also hurt. So now there's going to be another year where we go into the playoffs and the people are going to be like, oh, well, he underperformed because he was hurt. But now that's like back-to-back years of doing that. How many more chances is he going to do on that? I do think that should affect his contract money as well. So I don't know, man. We'll see what Austin Reaves gets. Shouldn't be anything higher than 35 per year, though. Shouldn't be.
Well,
No way.
the question that needs to be answered is how long? What is Austin Reaves? I think he's 25. Real talk.
He older.
26. Or
He might be
7.
older than that.
I
He
think
might be like 27.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might be older than that. He's between 25 and
Yeah,
27.
but he's a late bloomer.
Okay, and with that being said, have you gotten? Are we in the best years of Austin Reaves right now, or am I going to get anything more? Because if we've gotten the best years out of him, right? If and what I get from him right now, I'm probably going to get this for another 3, maybe 4 more years tops.
Mhm.
Do I want to go to 5 years at 150 or something like that with an option after 4? Do I want to go that far? Probably not. I probably want to do something in the short term, like 3 years, 95 million. 3
But
years,
his game
100
isn't
million.
predicated on athleticism and twitch. His game is predicated on pace and
Yes.
intelligence and
Mhm.
skill.
Y'all have that
That ages
backwards
very
when y'all
well.
say that. Yeah, y'all do that backwards. When your game isn't predicated on athleticism and quickness, that means the moment that you lose whatever you have right now, you're kind of cooked. The people that age well in basketball more times than not are the people that are uber athletic. And so even on their athletic decline, they're still more athletic than most, and they develop some skill over that time.
You mean like John Morant?
No, he hasn't developed a skill. That's why. I'm saying when Austin Reaves is no longer even the athlete he is right now, he's going to be a far worse player than a Russell Westbrook who lost some of his athleticism, but he was such an elite athlete that he's still more athletic than most people, and he's going to be a much better
Nobody
player
said
than Austin
players
Reaves.
who aren't athletic. This is why the word predicated was used and not like you get what I'm saying?
No, I
Your
get what you're
game-
saying, but I'm saying
So-
usually people whose games isn't predicated on athleticism, they're bad athletes or mid-tier athletes.
That's okay. So not
So if I
necessarily
get-
the case. LeBron's game was not predicated on athleticism. So
Yes,
just
it
so we're
was.
clear.
Yes, it was.
The hell it
Yes,
was.
it
No,
was.
it wasn't.
100%.
No, it wasn't.
In fact,
LeBron's greatest gift as a high school player was how leaps and bounds ahead he was.
Was he 6'9", 240, and had a 45-inch vert?
man, I'm
once
bigger,
again,
faster,
I don't know if
stronger
words
than
are
all of you
accurate
do.
you, but predicated does not mean that you are not athletic. My God, man. LeBron's
I get that
ability
point.
to see
Keep going.
ahead of the defense, LeBron's ability to be a great ball handler, great passer, his ability to develop his jump shot. Why
Sure.
is he succeeding right now? Because he can
Yeah.
shoot. If he couldn't shoot, if he had never developed his jump shot
Which he
after high
developed.
school, he did develop,
Yeah,
and that's
which
the
he
point.
developed
The
that.
skill holds you up. Size
Right.
holds you up. There's certain things that don't age well. Okay, size. If you're small, you're not going to age as well. In my
Lack
opinion.
of size. Okay,
Like
sure.
lack
I
of
can
size,
get with that.
positional size. So a 6'6"
Sure.
center or a 6'1" point guard probably not going to age as well as a 6'4" point guard. Just putting that out there. The second thing, as I was saying, is predicated on is there are a few players whose game is predicated on twitch, which means the advantage they have over the defense is they are just blowing past the defense. You know, an example
Like
of
James was when he was in 2007, like James was in 2008, before he developed the mid-range.
That's not
before he
why
developed
he
the
was
long
great,
ball.
Joe.
That's exactly why, Penn.
But Michael
I
Jordan
could
was
run
not great
fast
because
and jump high, and I'm stronger than everybody else. Now, don't get me wrong. The skill set, to your point, Penn, the skill set that he developed, he became an even better basketball player. But largely, him being a great basketball player because I was fast and I could jump high. A lot of that stuff was predicated on his game. Now, when the game started to slow down for him, and he didn't need to do that as much, that's different as opposed to when he was younger. If you watch him, he did have an inconsistent jump shot. His decision-making as a ball handler wasn't great. But you know what was great? I was faster than everybody. I could jump higher than almost everybody, which made me more awesome than everybody.
LeBron's greatest skill, in my opinion, is his intelligence, and it always has been. His court mapping, his ability to see things, it's allowed him to age so gracefully, but also his ability to take care of his body is a huge part. Okay, his rest, recovery, all that stuff. I'm saying a guy like Ja Morant, a guy like Steve Francis, these are guys whose games are predicated on athleticism. Zion is another player whose game was predicated on athleticism. That doesn't mean he doesn't have other skills. Zion is very skilled for a player of his size and very abnormal in that sense. But still, when you say Zion Williamson, how is Zion Williamson so good? You say, well, because he's just going through people. He's just going over people. I have never looked at LeBron James from high school onward and just said he's better than everyone because he's bigger than everyone or stronger than everyone. Yeah, that's a huge part of why he's so amazing, but he's not better than people because he's running past them. He's better because he is manipulating the court in a way that no player his size has ever done.
That is part of why he's better than them, those because he's running past. He's been the best transition scorer in the league for him or Giannis the past decade.
He actually is that today, real talk.
Like it is okay to him. Like I get what you're saying. Yes, there are other elements to his game that make him elite. Obviously, he's LeBron James, but a huge part of LeBron James being LeBron James is that he's 6'9", 250, and can run that fast and jump that high. That's a large part of it. Yeah, like that's.
If we wanted to bring me back to your point, real talk, when you talked about it, being backwards, so Penn talked about the athleticism. So, do you think that my game ages differently if I'm less athletic and I do rely on a lot of my skill set? Like, for example, a guy like Sam Cassell, who wasn't that fast, who didn't jump that high, who relied a lot on his skill set, but he played a long time.
He aged very well,
right? Who aged very well. So when you say
Ray Allen aged very well,
but Ray Allen was a super freak athlete too. So,
but Ray Allen's greatest gift was not his athleticism. Do you understand what I'm saying? Chill. Your game can be predicated on skill, and you can still be very athletic.
Okay, sure. Okay?
But
I get that part.
Ray Allen is not beating players because he is athletic. Steph Curry is a great athlete.
Yes,
he's a great conditioned athlete, but his game is not predicated on athleticism.
So, number one, Ray Allen was 6'5". He jumped this high on his jump shot. That's why it was so good, because a lot of people couldn't get to it.
And when he couldn't jump that high, he was still great.
But the difference was that he could still jump that high on his jump shot. He just couldn't run as fast.
He always elevated on his jump shot.
I think that's what Real Talk's point was right there. Those dudes that are super athletes,
sure,
when they get 30, 35, 36, 37 and they slow down, they're still just as athletic as some of these 29, 30-year-olds.
Right.
They're just not close to the athlete they were. So that's where they're able. And Ray Allen, even when he got to Boston in his last two Boston seasons, had slowed down tremendously from the athlete he was, but he was still quick enough, athletic enough to still get his stuff off. In Miami, he was more earthbound,
Mhm.
but he was, you know what I'm saying? That's Vince Carter. Vince Carter, another guy that played to what? He was 40. And he was
43.
Yeah, 40. Yeah, in his, you know what I'm saying? In his 40s, he was. Now that last 2 seasons, he wasn't as athletic, but when he was with us in the Kings, he still had a little bit of athleticism left on him. He was 38, still as athletic as some of the young guys because he was a freak athlete. Now, Penn, I do think that you have a point where I agree that there's guys like Boris Diaw who wasn't ever really super athletic, but he had that skill set. So as he got older, it didn't really matter too much, but. So I think it goes both ways, yo.
The reason why
I think it definitely
Vince's
goes
game
both
was
ways.
a predicate on athleticism after 2007. In 2003, he started. 2002, what am I talking about? In 2000, he started becoming a really good jump shooter. By 2001, he was changing like I think he was shooting like 8
didn't have anything
threes.
to do with the fact that he was able to get that stuff off.
The reason why I'm asking that
athleticism is going to help you be durable for longer. Obviously, Vince Carter, being the freak athlete that he was, establishes a base for how long you can play. But what I'm saying is, if Vince Carter had never evolved his game past North Carolina, where he was a streaky jump shooter at best, if he hadn't developed that jump shot, if he hadn't developed his basketball IQ, if he hadn't made his handle a little bit better, he hadn't made his passing a little bit better, he would have never been able to sustain a career past 35.
Athleticism kept him around for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just be an earthbound, just like shoot some mid-range.
James Wiseman is a perfect example of this.
If you don't have the athleticism, Pin, when you get to that point in your life, you're done. Like you're out of there. You can't play in the NBA being a slow old dude that can shoot the ball a little bit.
No, because we got younger guys who can jump, who can run.
Andre
fast.
Miller doesn't exist.
Andre Miller.
Slow old dude. Absolutely, he was slow and old.
Andre Miller was different. First of all,
Mark Jackson.
First of all,
Mark Jackson too, sure, but he wasn't playing much.
I can give you a ton of examples. Jason Kidd was a really good athlete in his heyday, but his game once again was not predicated on athleticism.
These guys when they ended up,
his skill set was way different.
Not only was it way different.
Anomalies.
So real talk, the reason why I was trying to counter your point is because I was thinking that a lot of these older guys, especially in my generation, so the skill set is different today than it was 30 years ago. And a lot of these guys, an example I give you is Dominique Wilkins. So when Dominique couldn't run as fast and jump as high, his deficiencies as an offensive player got masked because of his athleticism. When he couldn't run fast and jump high anymore, well, now he's got to rely more on being a ball handler. He's got to rely more on being a passer. He's got to rely more on being a pull-up jump shooter. And when he was in Boston, like he actually was able to knock down a couple of threes. But when that athleticism went away, he wasn't nearly the skilled player that he was back then. I think that he had to rely more on his skill set.
And I think it goes both ways.
Arvydas Sabonis is the best example of this, in my opinion. Rasheed Wallace just had a post. By the way, I don't know if y'all got Netflix. Most of us do. There is a Jailblazers documentary coming out. I can't wait for this.
I'm really interested.
I am dying to watch this because Rasheed Wallace, Bonzi Wells, all these guys dishing on what was back then. I hope people watch that and really see how the city of Portland turned on that team, and for no reason, in my opinion. Like, really, I don't agree with it. But anyways, that's probably going to trigger something.
The reason why I was bringing up...
All I'm going to say is...
One thing about that, though, this is another group of youngsters that was outside wilding, and now they get older, and they be like, oh, man, we got treated unfairly. Like, yeah, I think the Jailblazers, I think that kind of had a negative effect. I will agree with that. But you can't be outside wilding. Like you,
they were smoking weed in the car.
You can say it.
Anyways.
You can say it. I was a 25-year-old goofy ass kid who thought that I ran the world. That's really all it was.
And
I was a 22-year-old who thought that I ran the world, and I didn't.
Like you can't just go back and when you become a mature grown man and look back and be like, oh man, that wasn't like, bro, you were an idiot. A lot of us were.
Yeah, I don't think Rasheed Wallace was an idiot. Anyways, my point being, Rasheed was talking about.
He got kicked out of a playoff game. In the second quarter. What you doing, Penn?
Chill. Hold on. If you were
imagine Karl Malone getting kicked out.
At some point, he was trying to get attacked.
He got the gate in the second quarter of a playoff game. This is my best interior scorer. What are you doing, Penn?
I've watched Rasheed Wallace too long. I've listened to too many Rasheed interviews.
He's an awesome player, and I don't
think
that
we're definitely not an idiot.
Anyways, not an idiot.
To Real Talk's point, there's a difference between me being an idiot and saying idiotic things. Those two things are not the same thing. Okay.
No,
Real talk. And real talk, to Real Talk's point, I am not saying that Rasheed Wallace is an idiot. Did he do some idiotic things? Yes. One of them was getting thrown out of a playoff game in the second quarter when you are the best interior scorer on your team. That's not smart.
Chill. It's not about smart and dumb, because Rasheed was a very smart basketball player and a very, very smart person. I've listened to so many people who know him pretty well and just speaking on like shit that he knows outside of basketball. Sure. This dude is very, shall we say, intellectually curious. However, there is a difference between being smart, being dumb, and being able to manage your emotions in a moment. That is different. Emotional intelligence and actual intelligence are completely different. And maybe Rasheed didn't have the greatest impulse control.
He was an emotional idiot then. He was an asshole, and that's just what it is. When you're young, you do asshole things.
He's a great teammate. He's a great teammate.
So, yeah, that's fine. Penn, that's fine. Like that's one thing. Cool. He was a great guy. He did great things for people in the community. A lot of them did. But you can't just say, "Oh, well, I'm smart, so I can." So
it's okay.
One, man. It's okay for me to be a jackass. You know what I'm
anyways,
saying?
I'm just saying.
No,
he was talking.
Nothing,
he was
bro.
talking.
You're not finna anyways me. Chill for a second, because I'm still talking. You can't just be a jackass all your life and then grow up and say, yeah, well, they shouldn't have called us the Jailblazers. Okay, yeah, maybe the Jailblazers term stuck in it might have had a negative effect on these guys, but you can't just run around the city just being a jerk because you're young.
It was racist. What they were doing.
That's all it was. It was racist. That's all it was.
I know for sure. Fine, right. Whatever. Call it what you want. That you just can't do that and then come up and be like, oh well, they shouldn't have did this. So you did what you did, and whatever happened. I mean, hey, great team. Love that team.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, they had Arvydas Sabonis, who barely had knees and was still able to hold up as one of the top 5 centers in the NBA. If you want any example of a guy who his game was not predicated on athleticism, but was extremely athletic in his youth, but because he had the skills, he had the passing, he had the intelligence, he had the basketball IQ, he was able to adapt. Because all basketball IQ is problem solving. And one of the problems you got to solve is your own body. So when you lose twitch, how do I adapt? When I lose elevation, how do I attack? How do I adapt, right? When I don't have that verve to get above the rim, what skills do I have to develop to get under the rim and still be a good player? This is a self-awareness thing. This is emotional. This is professionalism. This is a lot of things. If you have great habits and you have a great basketball IQ, you're probably going to be pretty successful for a long time. A good example would be Fred VanVleet. Fred VanVleet has never been a super twitch athlete. He's coming off a very major injury. How he responds to this is going to be a testament to his skill level and his intelligence, not his athleticism, in my opinion.
Yeah, but again, if he's probably going to be a worse player. But even to the Arvydas Sabonis point, like, yeah, there's different thresholds for everything. Arvydas Sabonis is still one of the largest humans on planet Earth. By the way, he has more of a threshold to lose athleticism and survive. We at the time were talking about Austin Reaves. Number one, I think it's a wrong assumption to say that Austin Reaves' game isn't predicated off athleticism when his whole game is beating people off the dribble. His game is predicated off his quickness.
How is he beating players off the dribble?
Because Austin Reaves is quick. Austin Reaves does have a good first step. Yeah, just because he's white doesn't mean he's not quick. He's a quick player.
No. I asked the question the way I asked it for a reason, and it was a setup. Like, how is he beating players off the dribble? In part, he's beating players off the dribble because they're closing out to him and running him off the 3-point line because he's a great 3-point shooter.
Sure.
If teams backed off of him 3 feet like they do with non-shooters, he's not beating players off the dribble anymore.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. Because again, the conversation was, well, his game isn't predicated off athleticism.
It's not.
To me, I think it is. It is. You can be skilled and still be predicated off beating people off the dribble. Always inherently, unless you are one of these bigger guards like Luka or Cade, which he is not. He's not 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", big body. That's not Austin Reaves' archetype. He's a 6'5", pretty good athlete.
Can we get a definition for predicated? We keep using this word predicated. And I'm really just praying at this point that our disagreement is not based on the fact that we both are using a different definition of predicated. What does predicated mean to you?
Predicated.
I'm talking to real talk specifically because
predicated means based on.
Yeah, like that's the foundation of your advantage.
Right.
So your game. So you would say, if you were describing someone who to Austin Reaves, someone who had never seen Austin Reaves play, and they said, describe this player to me, you would say, this guy, his game is founded on,
Austin Reaves,
established on athleticism.
If somebody
Not
asks me
skilled, not
what am I,
shooting, not intelligence.
are you going to
not
let me answer the question, or you just want to answer so you can talk?
I mean,
Okay, thank you.
call
So
me
if somebody was to
black.
ask me, describe Austin Reaves, I would say he is a very shifty, skilled guard. So
Great.
yes, I do think Austin Reaves is skilled, absolutely. But the term shifty implies some level of lateral quickness, which yes, I think Austin Reaves is an
Run the ball, man.
athletic
Run the
enough
ball.
to beat people off the dribble consistently. That takes athleticism.
Once again, if your game is predicated on your hops, it don't mean you don't got arms, man. Shit.
I get that part, Penn. And with Austin,
Nobody's disagreeing with that.
no, I don't think anybody is disagreeing with that, Penn. But I think that what the point we're missing is what's one of the things that makes Austin Reaves good is his ability to shoot the basketball, his ability to beat guys off the dribble, which is predicated on his athleticism. He's not being able to do as good as he is as a ball handler in terms of his skill set, as good as he is as a jump shooter, which is also a skill, as good as he is at reading the defense. He can't beat guys off the dribble if he's not as athletic as he is. Ray Allen is not raising up when guys try to run Ray Allen off the long ball line. Ray Allen is not just getting ran off the long ball line. Ray Allen is raising up and shooting over the top of guys because of his athleticism, which his shooting ability is a skill, and I'm not going to argue that, Penn. His 100% is skill, but the fact that he can jump 3 feet in the air and get his jump shot off, you can't run me off the long ball line, especially if you're running me off the long ball line with a smaller guy. I'll just jump over the top of you.
A company being predicated on their research and development doesn't mean they don't need an accounting department.
They do need an accounting department.
They do.
Absolutely, they do.
So, like,
They need somebody
Steph
to crunch the
Curry's
numbers.
game is predicated on his shooting and movement. It doesn't mean if I break his legs that he's going to be a good
but you have to
basketball
bring
player.
up the greatest
That's not
shooter
the point.
ever.
This is
Like
exhausting.
because somebody in the chat was saying that he brought up LeBron, so to bring up Steph is the same equivalent. There is an inherent need, especially for guards in the NBA. There's an inherent need for athleticism, at least some form of faction of it.
Nobody
Because
says it wasn't.
there are that's what separates, let's say, Austin Reaves from Mike James. There are other guards that play basketball professionally that are as skilled as Austin Reaves, that are in the Euro League and playing overseas, etc. The reason why Austin Reaves is able to get his game off in the NBA, though, is because he's athletic enough to do it against other 6'7" able-bodied human beings. That inherently takes
Great Austin Reaves is an athlete
athleticism.
out of 1 out of 10.
I think
6.
he's a 6.
I'm saying he's athletic
6,
enough.
perfect. Rate his skill level.
Maybe 6.5.
Rate
He's
his skill
athletic
level.
enough.
Rate his skill level.
I think
You're
it's
missing
7.
the point. You're missing the point.
But
He's
I'm
more
not.
skilled than yes. You're. Oh
So
wait,
if he's
chill,
a
please,
6 athlete and he's a 10
Okay, I got it. You're missing the point. Yes, he is more skilled than athletic.
Perfect.
He is
That's all
more
it is.
skilled than athletic.
That's the definition of predicated. dude.
I'm not even talking to you anymore. I'm talking to the chat. So, chat, this is what I'm saying. Obviously, we know Austin Reaves is more skilled than athletic. However, I
Right.
disagreed with his original statement of, well, Austin Reaves' game isn't predicated off athleticism, because people like that, as soon as they lose the little bit of athleticism that they have, that skill no longer matters as much. If Austin Reaves cannot beat a defender off the dribble, him having a handle doesn't do you any good. That's what I'm saying. So yes, his game relies on the little bit of athleticism that he has more than you give it credit. That's what I'm saying. Obviously, he's
When
more
you consider a
skilled than
player whose
athletic.
game is actually predicated on athleticism, like a Vando, when that guy loses his athleticism, he doesn't go from starter level to role player. He goes from role player to out of the league.
Absolutely, because
players-
he lacks the skill.
Because he
Absolutely.
lacks the skill.
Yeah.
Right.
When you can
and,
shoot,
and once
you can always be
once again, y'all, like I said before, that goes both ways. It goes both ways. If I'm a skill guy with that, like if I'm a six in both, if I lose one, I'm pretty much cooked. If I'm barely above par on both of them, if I lose one, I'm pretty much done. If I lose one, I might got about 18 months left in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's that, y'all. And plus, I got some guy in the chat. I think his name was Tyler something. Talking about he's about to go find Ron so he can get this moving along. So as soon as the chat starts talking about we need Ron, I think it's time for me to step in because that's crazy. Especially knowing that I'm the best host we've ever had on the panel, except for JD. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely clear Ron and Swiper. So y'all gotta get it together, okay? Because I can't go out like that. No.
He
way,
also hosts
no
the best
sir.
show on the network too.
And that is a fact. That is a fact. In fact, you know what?
I knew you were gonna do that.
You know what?
We chilling with Chill now?
Get up out of here. Let's do this, Chill. Let's do it.
Absolutely.
Let's do what we do, baby.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Welcome to Chill.
Yes,
welcome to Chill
sir.
with Chill, ladies
Hey, yo,
and gentlemen.
welcome
Good to see you guys.
Welcome to another
today.
episode of Chill with Chill. We here on a
Absolutely.
Thursday. Back on Thursdays like y'all wanted us to
Absolutely.
be. So anyways, Chill, how's it going? How
Hey,
you
running good, man. Running good. I can't wait to see you up in Portland this weekend. It's gonna be super dope. This actual basketball game is supposed to be better than what I thought it was gonna be. Who would have thought that the Trailblazers and the Clippers, this game at the end of the year was gonna really mean something? And it does. It means a lot. So I'm super charged about that. No doubt. Can't wait to see
you know
y'all.
what? Chill, when this came up and Ron kind of was asking like, "Yo, what you think? What game should we do?" Because I think we had to choose between this one, Dallas, and another game, and we both were kind. I was like, "Yo, I think that Clippers game might really mean something." And this is when the Clippers was going this way. He was like, "Bro, no way, like, ain't no way it's not going to." Ended up doing it, and hey, this game does mean something. For
Absolutely.
Sure.
So,
But you know what? That wasn't fair. Let me get these guys back up here. I guess.
get the fellas back. Yes, sir. Get the fellas back.
Wrong one.
Get the fellas back up here. So you
I
know
guess
what it
we'll
is.
allow them to participate today.
We can't just leave them out. We can't just leave them out like that. No, we'll get them back up here. Absolutely.
I'm like, what do you say? Fuck me for? Shit, I was just listening.
Yo,
My bad. But what I do want to talk about though, y'all, honestly, on another note, is Giannis Antetokounmpo. They're saying now, Jay, you can say you not worried about it, but if Giannis catches a flight to Boston,
I think if Giannis goes to any of the top 7 teams in the NBA, obviously.
Besides the Knicks.
So what they're
Now just
He's just underage, baby.
No, so what they're saying though is that potentially Boston can do this and still keep Jalen and Jason. So I don't really understand that. I don't know exactly how that works, but what y'all think? Is that possible or what?
What do they have? Do they have what's it called? When you make a trade, you got the leftover money, and they give you money on the deal. Like, you know what I'm talking about?
Like trade consideration?
cash consideration.
Yeah.
Consideration,
Something like that. Right. Do they have a lot of that? How can they make that work? Is it Derek White?
No idea.
Derek White earns a lot. I know that. Paying Pritchard.
Oh, so Derek White got to get up out of there. Okay.
It would be crazy if they kept all 3 of them.
Oh, right.
That would be
They would
crazy.
if you were able to keep Derek White, Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown, and get Giannis, there definitely is going to be an investigation.
Yeah, barring a meteor hitting
There would
Boston,
definitely be an
win.
investigation in Boston. How did you guys pull this off?
Yeah,
I need to understand that. No doubt.
That's crazy.
Since Penn likes the intellectual curiosity. Does Giannis's game, considering what they do in Boston with the movement and the long ball, does Giannis's game fit that system?
Who are they trading him for? Jaylen Brown?
No.
So
Keep
apparently
Jaylen
they'll be able
Brown.
to keep Jalen and Jason. So
You're
Derek
keeping
White's
Jaylen Brown
gone.
and you're keeping Jason Tatum. Even though I'm on record saying this though, Jay, I think the bomb squad era is
Never
over.
happened.
I think the days of Curry and KD and Klay Thompson, I think them days is over. I don't think we're going to see that for a long time. I'll be really surprised if we saw that again. So with that being said, let's just say for the sake of argument that they do end up bagging Giannis and they're able to keep both Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum.
Does
Giannis's game fit
100%? Yes. 100% it fits. Yes.
Considering
he is the perfect fit for that team. They have the maximum spacing. As he ages, he does not have a great handle. Giannis is not bag work guy, okay? But he's a decent passer. Still a decent defender. Still a positive defender. Very, very positive defender. The downhill gravity of that dude mixed with Joe Mazzulla's spacing principles, mixed with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown's incredible star impact, would make that team crazy, absolutely insane. Especially
I'm looking at
if
these
they can add a stretch
rosters.
5 to that, that would be amazing.
I'm looking at these rosters and these salaries. I saw it as a topic, but like I dead ass don't know how they can acquire Giannis. I'm
They
looking
can't.
at
They had to
I
gut the
don't-
whole team.
Trade Jaylen
Yeah.
Brown easily.
Like I think that does. I don't know how they would do it without involving one of the Jays as of right now. Maybe there's another probably somebody in the chat or somebody in the comments will be a
we
better
completely forgetting.
cap manipulator than me. But I'm
Right.
looking. I don't know how they.
I
do
don't.
it.
I don't.
And
I
real
don't
talk-
understand it. I don't understand it. But they, you know what? You know what I heard they need in Boston? More trees.
And what
Jesus. This guy.
and real talk, you leave it out said that Jaylen Brown is on a $300 million deal. Jason Tatum is on a $300 million deal. And Giannis's deal is up after next season. So he's got to
He'll
get
take
paid
less
too.
money.
Is
Yeah, okay.
Is
Never
he,
happening.
is he coming to Boston for less though? I don't think
No.
so. No, I'm not doing that. So now we put ourselves in a big time conundrum where I'm gonna have to. One of the main reasons why Boston is what. One of the main reasons why that Boston Celtic team is what it is because the system and the guys that they have in terms of the personnel to implement that system. If you take Giannis and you put him on that on the floor, now you're gonna get rid of all of those other guys. Like Peyton Pritchard's gone, Hauser's gone, Cade is gone. All of these guys are gone, and now what I'm doing is I'm filling the roster. I'm just filling the roster, kind of like what the Miami Heat did in 2010 with James, Wade, and Bosh. Is that going to work? Now, I can appreciate
want
being-
to.
Whoa. It's not the same thing at all, Joe. Because this team has shown you an ability to get cheap, serviceable players, which means their pro scouting is on a completely different level than Miami's at the same time. They got Nimi Keita, who is one of easily the top 20 centers in the league this year. And I'm being generous when I say that. He's been amazing for them. They got him on a minimum deal, pretty much, right? They got Jordan Walsh. That's a guy who came through their system. They developed him. Peyton Pritchard is signed to a very cheap deal. They found him too. They drafted him. Not
Well, he
in the
wasn't hard to
lottery.
find. Peyton Pritchard was the man at
Yeah,
U
the
of L.
teams got
Sure.
falling on him. They
But
worried
still,
about his
20
size.
plus teams passed on him. So I'm just saying, like, they found him.
Yeah.
And
For sure.
you consider Hugo Gonzalez. He's been awesome. Second round pick, right? Late first, second. So they have shown an ability to build this roster very well. Their brain trust is amazing. Like Brad Stevens, great executive. So
They're saying in the chat that the trade machine, I don't know how accurate the trade machine is, but they say it works if it's Derek White, Sam Hauser, Cade, and Peyton.
And I think and you know what I think we
why
forgetting?
is Milwaukee's never doing this?
That's exactly where I was going with
Yeah,
this. shit.
word.
We could.
How many
we just
first round picks
They might as well
are
just
in there?
leave. They might as well leave Milwaukee. No one is paying to watch Derek White. Derek White, hell of a basketball player. You're not getting Derek White for you lose your job before you sign that trade. No, you
So
have to get Jaylen Brown and you have to get multiple first round picks.
If you get a third team involved and maybe 4 first round picks from somebody,
Ox,
somewhere.
make no mistake about it. Giannis is still a top 5 player in the NBA. Forget this season.
Oh,
He is still that dude. He is going to be the best player in the Boston
He's still the
Celtics.
best player in the NBA.
Okay.
when he's
I said
healthy.
top 5. Yeah. Okay, cool. So you like the asking price for Giannis right now would be a young star. Let me go as far as
and
what's a young
all of your
star?
ones,
Franz-
not some of your
Franz-
ones,
Every
all of
single
them,
Wagner.
guy.
Your whole
Wagner,
future.
all of your
Yeah.
ones,
like a Franz Wagner, Scotty Barnes level star,
and all of your
In that-
ones.
and all of your ones, and a couple of good contracts, like good role players.
Somebody
Like
just
Sam
said
Hauser.
Embiid is out tonight, so that's a scratch on our
Yeah.
slip. But I will say this: I'm also saying on my trade because you can't. I think they'll be able to trade Nikola Vucevic like after a certain date passes or whatever.
Sure.
Well, he's a free
I,
agent.
you
He's
can.
free-
They
he's
can't
free
trade
after
him
this,
right now.
Yeah, he's a
obviously,
free agent
but
after this.
yeah, I think
He's off the
I think he has
books.
one more. I don't know. Maybe you try to include him on a sign and trade, and you throw in Derek White
I think
or something like that. I don't know. I really don't see any visible way of the Celtics getting
Well,
him.
well,
I'm
real talk.
okay.
What you do is
He
you
just
send
made me $10,000.
you send Derek White. You send Derek White to Orlando, and that's how Franz gets to Milwaukee.
Jay, can I get a satisfactory answer on why
That's how
Milwaukee
Bronx
is
is
doing
Milwaukee.
this? Of all the teams in the league, why is Milwaukee
you know why?
doing this?
They're
You know why,
absolutely
Chill?
desperate.
You
Like,
know
they have
why,
to be
Chill?
destitute.
Because they sat around like two toxic people on the couch, just mean mugging each other, hating each other, not going out on Friday night. They don't got no kids. There's no reason for them not to go out. No reason for them not to hang out. They're sitting on the couch, just hating each other. He looking at her eat ice cream like, I hate the way she eat ice cream. She looking at him crack a beers like, this motherfucker always drinking Budweiser. He should drink Heineken. They hate each other.
But you hate me,
But
I hate you.
they not leaving because they want to go 50-50 on the rent. And now she want to go, and you can't get nothing for her because you watch her sit around eating ice cream for years. I'm telling you know what happens after that. Sitting around eating ice cream for years. Now, don't nobody want to take her off your hands. So now the Milwaukee Bucks are going to get pennies on the dollar for Giannis Antetokounmpo.
This is
No, they
exactly
won't.
why they
Well, yeah, I disagree. I disagree
No,
with
they
that as well.
not.
I don't think they'll get.
They
pennies
might
on the
get
dollar.
dimes on the dollar. Dimes on the dollar.
They get
No,
maximum
no,
value.
A team that wants to
no,
win right
no,
now
hell
today
no,
hell
will
no.
gladly
Okay.
give up a suitable package.
Like who? Like who? Wait. Like who?
Like the
Who?
Knicks?
What team, Jay?
Like the
Serious
New York
question.
Knickerbockers?
What? Okay, so what are they gonna have to give up if Milwaukee wants to get equal value for the New York Knicks? How do you guys trade for him and still compete?
Okay,
The Knicks have.
But
No,
why
I'm
do they
talking
still
about-
have to compete though?
Well, no, because that's what Jay just said. No, I'm not talking about Milwaukee still
If
compete.
you're
I'm talking about
trading
the
for
Knicks still
Giannis, you
compete.
have to compete.
If
No, I'm talking
Jay,
about
because
I'm
Jay,
talking about Milwaukee. I'm not talking
Right, but I'm not talking about Milwaukee though. Real talk. I'm talking about
okay.
what Jay said. Jay saying that they're still going to get equal value for Giannis Antetokounmpo. That's what
I didn't
that's
say
what
equal.
chilling.
I didn't say
Okay, well,
equal.
still high value.
Yeah.
Still super high value. If they're going to get super high value, what can the Knicks give up that you guys we all consider super high value? Don't forget, Giannis Antetokounmpo is a top 3 player. So how do you get super high value for Giannis Antetokounmpo, right? And still be a good enough team to actually compete for a championship if you're the New York Knickerbockers.
You got to get a third team involved. It's not a straight up deal.
But let's assume it is.
You could throw in Cat McHale and the rest of our firsts in there, and that's as fair as a deal as you're going to get from anybody in the
I don't
league.
know.
That's
to be
dimes on the dollar.
To be honest with you, I think it works in Cleveland. If you hand over Evan Mobley,
Evan Mobley, that's pennies on the dollar.
That's not pennies on the dollar.
Evan Mobley
dramatic.
compared to Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Okay,
is
Evan
pennies
Mobley,
on the butt.
right? He's not
As an asset, not as
okay,
a player.
Absolutely, Penn. That's where I'm going with this. On top of that, Ox, remember who
Y'all want to
you
change
just
up every conversation. Y'all
no,
wanna
we're not
change
changing up the
everything.
conversation, Ox. Let's
Y'all
stay right
talking
here.
about this goalpost went from the goal
you
line to
no,
the
no,
50-yard line so
Ox.
fast. That's not even how football works. You can't play with the goal line at the with the
Okay.
goalpost at the 50.
Actually, you can play with it with the goalpost in the middle of the end zone because they do that.
Yeah,
in
but not at
Canadian
the
Football
50.
League. Okay. With that being said, we're not moving the goalpost here, Ox. You just brought up a real interesting point, and the interesting point that you just brought up is that Giannis is a top 3 player in the league, which means that if I'm Milwaukee, I'm not okay. He's the best player. Let's say he's the best player in the league. If I'm Milwaukee, I'm not calling up anybody. Line 1, whenever it rings, what do you want? That's the first thing I'm asking. What do you want? It's not what I want, what I'm willing to give you. What do you want? Because you already know what I got. I got Giannis. And yes, I'm willing to hand him over. And I'll hand him over for something that makes sense for me. And if I'm giving him to the Boston Celtics, this has to work for me. And if you think I'm taking Peyton Pritchard, Derek White, and a bunch of ones, you are nuts. I'm
that's
not
fine.
doing
That's,
that.
That's
But
fine.
you run
That's
the
fine
risk
too.
of him just
No,
walking
wait,
anyway.
that's
Chill,
not happening either.
Until you've already established that. So now my question to that is, because Jay said any team that wants to win is going to give up something for Giannis, but then also said that the Milwaukee Bucks aren't going to get fleeced in this deal, which I believe they will now because they sat around watching her eat ice cream for 5 years. So now I'm curious to know. I still haven't gotten an answer. Jay said,
So
I
got
that's dimes on the dollar.
I got so
Well, nothing's gonna match a number one
You're
player.
not gonna. Yeah, you're probably.
I need.
You have to.
But can I
as
get
far
quarters on the dollar? Give me quarters,
as far as the player for player return, you're probably not going to get that right. But a team has to be desperate enough to still want to give up draft capital, even though you know you're risking getting this what can be now described as an injury-riddled player in Giannis. So you have to be, courageous enough to do that. And you have to still be good enough for you to expect, like, in return, when he comes, we're still going to be a good enough team to compete
Sounds
for
like
a
And
it's a
championship.
still
short-term
sell
deal.
tickets.
And so-
Milwaukee still got to sell tickets.
Yeah,
Sounds like it's a short-term deal.
so the team that does, a lot of people are bringing up the Warriors. The Warriors this offseason are going to have, I believe, 4 first-round picks that they can trade as assets, right? So
Good
you got 4 first-round picks that you can give up and trade for Giannis. And I
Who's
think,
selling tickets in
obviously,
Milwaukee?
Are they good firsts?
No, they not.
are they good first? I have
Damn
to
those
look at it.
first.
I'm
Who's
not
going
sure.
to sell the tickets? That's what Jay just told y'all. Told me that they got to sell tickets. Who are they going to get?
Here's
They
the
have to
problem.
get picks. They have to get draft
No,
capital.
And this
see,
is
real
why
talk,
that Jonathan Kuminga
I
trade hurt.
understand that, real talk. I know that part of it. I get that.
Mhm.
But y'all are every single time, because this conversation has gone through about 4 levels. We on the 5th floor right now, and then every single floor. And when we walked in the
You
lobby,
asked a
we
very
got to the
direct question.
second floor,
You
we got
did.
to the 3rd floor, got to the 4th floor.
You asked a very
Y'all
direct
still
question.
haven't told me
Yeah, you asked a
anything
very
to
direct question.
satisfy
Yes, you did.
the requirements y'all told me there were in this trade.
So
So let's
the-
get to business.
okay, so
what's going to satisfy the requirements of this trade, Chill?
All right. So what I want to do is I want to eliminate some people. Let's start there. I want to start with the process of elimination. Real Talk brought up the Golden State Warriors. I don't want any picks from Golden State. You know why I don't want any picks from Golden State? Because Golden State's going to be good. I don't need picks in the late in the first round. Golden State, when they get Giannis, they're going to be awesome. So that pick in 27, that's 28, or that pick in 27, or that pick in 28, that's the 23rd pick. I don't need that. You know what I need? I need the 3rd pick in the draft. I need the 5th
Wait,
pick
real
in the
quick,
draft.
chill, because I'm not trying to derail you, but remember that was one of the requirements in this conversation was that whatever team Giannis goes to is going to be a team that's trying to compete.
Sure,
That
absolutely.
was one of the requirements. We got
Absolutely.
that requirement on the 2nd floor.
Absolutely.
So now, so if that's an issue, then that kills everything.
Which
For
is-
the
But
other
hold
team.
on.
Which is-
Wait.
which is
They have picks available. This is what I'm seeing. If they have,
You got to
picks
give me another
available-
team's picks, right?
I have a
right.
perfect
So
trade
like
for
they
you.
have their 2030. They have a 2031st. They have a 2032 first round pick. By that time,
7 years.
the Warriors are gonna be a terrible team.
Yeah.
But so those 2 picks can be a very high quality because they're gonna be bad by the time we get to 2030.
Do we know that though? Real talk. Do we know that
Yeah,
for a fact?
Steph's going to be gone, and
Okay.
Giannis at that point, it's probably as soon as Steph's gone, Giannis should be out of there as well. I'm not going to lie.
Okay, I have a perfect trade candidate for Giannis that
Let's
no
hear it.
one's talking about. The Atlanta Hawks.
We actually had that conversation.
I don't hate that.
Okay.
I don't
Okay,
hate that.
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay,
Who did I give up?
Dyson Daniels. That is a big part of this. The
Dyson ain't
reclamation
selling no
project.
tickets.
Okay, no, I get it. The reclamation project that is the Zachary Risachet,
He ain't selling no tickets.
Onyenko Okongwu.
Got to give up Jalen Johnson.
Hang on.
No,
No Jalen Johnson. I will tell you who is going to be the centerpiece of this. There's a wonderful player that was
Come on.
traded from the New Orleans Pelicans to the Atlanta Hawks. It's called a 1st round pick. That could be a top 5 pick this year.
Hand it
Oh,
over.
this year. Okay.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
That
believe
pick,
that.
That's the ticket seller.
that's the ticket
Mm.
seller.
I don't hate that. Okay.
Okay.
We are rebuilding with youth. We have Dyson. There's some debate on whether that would be, and then we have rim attack all night long with Jalen Johnson, and we got spacing around it. We can fill out, the roster with shooters around it. Zach Risachet just got a DMPCD the other day. Okay, he is out of that rotation. So if Milwaukee can redeem something, at the very least, at this point, he's still 2 years removed from being the 1st overall pick. You can still sell the Milwaukee Bucks on like this is a hopeful, reclamation project. Dyson's a hell of a defender. This first round pick is gonna be a top 5 pick. I think that's as good as you're gonna get. If you don't go that way, you got to go the Evan Mobley way with Cleveland. If you don't go that way, you got to go the Franz and Anthony Black or Paolo and Anthony Black with the Orlando Magic. That's the type of deal I think is going to get done because Giannis is still that dude. Yes, he's coming off injuries. Yes, he got contract issues. But if you negotiate beforehand that he's willing to re-sign with you, that is a dude that you take this type of swing on. He's still young enough to do it.
Pin. I'm not mad at that, Pin. Chill. But I do think so. I think Pin. I think that makes a lot of sense. But Chill. I think you're right as far as I don't think this can be a team to team. I think it's going to be a 3-4 team involved.
Got to get
soccer
somebody else
situation.
involved in this. We do.
Yeah.
We got to get
Because
some other people involved.
Giannis has to go to a competing team, right? I think so. And I also think Milwaukee has to get some compensation, young players, good draft picks. And I'm not talking about because it's 2026 right now. I don't think they can wait to 2032 to get good picks. I think they got to get good picks this year, next year, and the year after, honestly. So
That's why I was bugging me out with real talk, because I can appreciate, Steph Curry being gone. I can appreciate Jimmy Butler being gone. But, I mean, who's to say that in 6 years that the Warriors might not rebuild and actually hit in the draft? And I ain't saying be a championship team, but they could still be good. And now that first round pick that you gave me in 2026, in 2023, you end up with the 6th seed. I don't need the damn 20th pick.
There's another team also. Like sometimes teams don't like trading with conference rivals. Right? I don't want to see Giannis 4 times in a year, so I don't know. Portland's another one. Stock full of young players across the board. They got a ton of depth. They got Shaedon Sharp, who's a very exciting player that they could easily pass off. Scoot Henderson, who's been playing a lot better lately. This is just a poo-poo platter of mid prospects. None of these are superstars. Denny Avdia is another player that is on a very reasonable contract and could possibly, I don't know if a team wants to touch that. I think this draft lottery that's coming up in a month now, that's going to matter a lot. Because if Portland misses the playoffs, Joe, and as we have seen over the last few years, these teams that miss the play-in and then end up getting the first overall pick, what if Portland gets the 4th pick or the 3rd pick? Now you've got the perfect Giannis pick. Also, I think Portland holds Milwaukee's picks
from the Dame situation or
from the Dame situation.
I think it's
they
3 of them.
Officially hold Milwaukee's balls because Milwaukee has to be competitive. If they can give them back their picks, Portland has the perfect offer. This year's pick, if they get a top 4 pick, even if they get the 11th pick, whatever, that's an asset in a good draft. Take this pick, take some salary, add Shaedon Sharp, give them back a couple of their picks. Bam. So now you're a really good team next year. And
okay,
you got
Penn.
Giannis,
okay, Penn.
Giannis with Dame and Drew. Hey, I think the city of Portland would love that, honestly.
Take that, Penn haters. How about that?
Yeah. I appreciate that, Jay.
Those are 2 solid ass offers. If I'm the Bucks,
that's
I'm stroking my chin right now. Like, okay, all right.
I really do approach this game like a general manager. It's literally how I think about everything. But yeah,
absolutely. All right, y'all. Let's get to these super chats. We do got to get to those. People spend their hard-earned money, and I'm not going to be the guy that doesn't get to the super chats.
Damn, right?
You talking about anybody in particular?
Yes, I'm talking about Ron. Yes.
Okay, I'm just making sure we put a name to it.
Shout out Ron.
Ron says, no, F all the BS y'all got to say. Mars, fry oxen pin, talking about Kawhi always been better than Steph. And now 2016 Kawhi better than Steph. And current Kawhi clears 21 Steph. Ox, Steph plays D. That's a lie. Steph does play D. He's just not good at it.
Ox, you said that?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh my God.
But, I said something like this. I didn't say everything that he said I said, but I mean, yeah, the basis is pretty much, I got Kawhi over Steph. I think Steph got Kawhi over Steph. But that's okay, though. That's in here.
No,
or
he
there.
doesn't.
What?
Well,
Because
because this is my only thing, Jay. It's like when people that play against these people talk about these people, it's different than what we say from the outside looking in. And that's all. And people
Niggas shit bricks when they have to guard Steph.
And y'all know I'm super high on Steph. Y'all know I love Steph Curry. Y'all know
Called
that.
him the most dangerous man
so-
in NBA history.
So this
called him the most dangerous man in
this
NBA
didn't come
history.
from a place that this come from a place of me really believing that Kawhi Leonard is a bum knee away from being the GOAT. That's where it comes from. But either way though, y'all, Mars wasn't gonna cook
This is
nothing.
insane.
He wasn't gonna Mars wasn't gonna say nothing other than what I already heard yesterday. So you can't call on Mars to help y'all.
And the problem is with y'all is that y'all don't find people when they say shit like that. And that's why Ox is going to continue to come here and say shit like that because there's no monetary loss for niggas.
Jay
like
said we need to take some dough out your check, Ox.
Like, it can't just say this with no,
That's what
with no
he
consequence.
said. You need to write a
Jay,
check, Ox. For
There's
that
no
right
penalty
there.
box. There's no nothing for Ox saying shit like this.
Jay, this because I said what people are afraid to say. People be scared of the backlash of the internet. I'm not.
All right. Shout
I
out to
don't
you,
got
man.
like I'm not up here trying to prove nothing to nobody. I'm gonna
Word.
talk and say what I believe.
Yeah, and you know what? Shout out to you, Ox. Not bound by the confines of reason or logic. You just saying what you feel, and damn be the rules of the world. I feel you, bro.
Speaking of a
Yeah,
freak,
hey, yo, Jerry, y'all can throw tomatoes, man. I love vegetables, man. Oh, wait, no,
Speaking of-
tomatoes are fruit.
Salute, Ox.
speaking of scared big fella, I'm not a huge fan of flying, but I got to catch a plane because I got to get with the
Oh, bro.
fellas. So
See,
I'm
I
gonna
will
see you
soon.
dudes later, fellas.
All right, Jill.
Yes,
sir.
Yeah.
Safe travels.
Yeah, man. But you know, that's just how I get down, yo. I'm not tripping. If I
Y'all
believe,
notice his flight checked in right as the Kawhi praise started? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah,
Chill.
'cause he
I'm
did
kidding.
say it was-
Enjoy your flight.
But you know though, like I do honestly believe that a lot of people, like, I'm not saying that they don't watch. I just feel like a lot of people are convinced by what's already been said. If you know what I'm saying? Like I think a lot of people are already like they hear like ESPN, they hear all of that, and it's like, oh well, these guys are the best. This is that, and so they're not willing to even consider anybody else being at those certain levels. Like, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a safe way to go about it. I'm just not going about nothing safe. I got my own way of looking at basketball. I got my own logic about basketball. I got my own feelings about basketball, and I don't compromise that for anybody.
It's like there's levels to greatness, right? Like within the top 10, top 20, top 30 players, obviously. I don't think Vince Carter is a bad player. I think Vince is a great player, but he's never touched the heights of Kevin Garnett or Kawhi Leonard, in that opinion. When you're talking about the top 3, maybe those are untouchable heights. So when you say Kawhi could be the GOAT, I think people might look some way about it. But when you talk after that level, Larry, Shaq, guys like this, I think Kawhi has come close to those levels. I think he's come close enough to a Larry Bird level year that it's not insane to say,
He has
okay,
no
well,
year rivaling peak Shaquille O'Neal. Not a singular one.
well,
Yeah,
you could
I hear
argue,
you.
you could argue no one has a year rivaling 2000 Shaq. You could argue that, and yet I don't think people are saying Shaq's the GOAT. I'm saying, like, if we take a
Shaq is
player,
consistently known as having one of the top 3 peaks of all time, though.
And honestly, this is the thing too. And y'all got to remember.
and yet
and
a lot of people have Duncan ahead of him, right?
I say this a lot. Like, so real talk. You being from Houston, y'all being from the Northeast. Well, Penn growing up there. I know you from over Serbia, but like growing up in the Northeast, you and Jay, me being from the West Coast, I've met plenty of people that got Shaq as they go. I met plenty of people that got Magic as they go. Yeah, I think it's a lot of that stuff be regional, y'all. Like, we've all heard.
And you
different
think
things.
Kawhi is in that
But
conversation?
I think Kawhi is a bum knee away from being in that conversation. I think Kawhi was headed in that direction before he stepped on Zaza. I think Kawhi was getting back to that area in 21 before he tore his ACL. These are just things I've seen. When y'all see what do they call that? Flow state or when y'all see, have y'all seen Kawhi in that mode? When y'all like, yo, what the fuck is happening right now? We've seen Kawhi in the mode that we've probably that we've seen some of the greats in. So that's why I don't think Kawhi is the best player to ever play basketball. I don't.
I think 2017, that playoff run
nasty,
that
bro.
he was on when Zaza stepped, I think that year,
That shit was
leading into
ugly.
the next year, if we take all the rehab out, because obviously rehab is hard, it disrupts your career. This would be like, okay, we all agree 2000, 2001, 2002 Shaq, 99, 2000, 2001. This is like the greatest Shaq, right? This is like peak Shaq, peak athleticism, peak, basketball intelligence, peak shape, everything. But what if in 1998 he had suffered an injury that derailed an entire offseason? And so now the athleticism that you would have seen in his absolute peak is just a little diminished, and he's going through
but it
knick-knack
didn't.
injuries.
So we saw it happen.
But it didn't, and I think that's what Ox is saying.
so-
Like, he's like, based on the trajectory that this young man was on, having won Finals MVP, having such a dominant playoff performance, following that up the next year, having that brilliant, I think runner-up MVP finish in 2016, then going forward, winning DPOY twice. Like, really, at that point, you really, unless you were sleeping, because the San Antonio Spurs is a small market and Kawhi is very quiet and doesn't draw attention to himself, you really can't tell me Kawhi wasn't on a top 10 all-time trajectory. He was. Now, things happened, and I think he's bounced back really well from that. the Raptors championship, the sustained good play with the Clippers, what he's done this year, he really should retire as a top 25 player of all time. And when you consider the injuries, what is the gap between top 25 and top 10 is probably a bum knee. And then top 10 and top 3 is based on subjective value. How much do you value defense? How much do you value peak performance? How much do you value playoff performance? How much do you value big game rising? Because there's a lot of players in that top 10 that came up very short in very big games.
And see, Pin, the way you just broke it down, that was great. See, me, I'll just say it. Like, I'll just say shit like, nah, he's this way. And then people hear that and they be like, what are you talking about? But what you're saying, Pin, is pretty much all I've been trying to say. Like, Kawhi really wants
But what dominant playoff runs did he have prior to 2019, though? Is it?
Say what?
He went to war with Braun in the finals 2 years in a row. And war, he gave Braun hell.
He was a dominant player then.
In those times, that was such a dominant version of LeBron James that Kawhi got outplayed by Bron.
Kawhi was a dominant player in 14.
Well, I honestly believe that Kawhi Leonard is the.
No,
Kawhi
he was
Leonard
not a dominant player.
Besides when KD and Steph got together, because that duo right there had Bron like shook up. But I think besides when Bron was young and had to deal with like prime Kobe Bryant, I think Kawhi Leonard's probably like one of the only guys Bron be like, man, I really don't really want to deal with this.
So, no, Kawhi was good.
Kawhi didn't have a dominant playoff run in 2016.
He was a good player. Kawhi Leonard was not a top 10.
And that's
one of the top 5, top 10 player.
And that's fine. See,
he didn't have a dominant playoff run in 20.
You feel one way about Kawhi Leonard, and I think you're set in stone on that. I just think that we see something different than what you see, and I think that's
between
fine. But
20.
We do got to get to these super chats, y'all.
Can I just say one final sentence?
Of course.
Between 2015 and 2023, I cannot name 2 better playoff performers than Kawhi Leonard.
But you said prior to. We were talking about prior to that, though.
2016.
That's why I brought up that.
No,
year.
you said prior to 2019. What was his? When was?
Because you said after the DPOY. If you were saying after the DPOY years, which is like 2016, and then he gets hurt. We all know he doesn't play in 18. So you were talking about like his Spurs tenure. You would think that was a top 10 player trajectory.
Yes, I'm talking about the 2
But
years.
I don't think he was on a top 10 player trajectory just because yes, he had accumulated some accolades. Finals MVP, yes. But if you go look at that series, there was a multitude of people you could have given that Finals MVP to. It's not like he was some dominant force in that finals.
So you're telling me 16. You're telling me that before he got hurt in 17, what he did in 16 and 17, he wasn't looking like he was about to be one of the best.
No, he was. He didn't look like a top 10 player trajectory. That's a lot. That's a lot.
That's fine. That's fine. I look at what Kawhi Leonard was doing in 16, what he did in 17. I look at that, and I see something that you
in 2015, 16, and 17. This is 1, 2, 3 top 10 MVP finishes. This is 2 DPOYs.
Okay, we're talking about
this is
top 10 all time.
Yes, and he was 25 years old at that point, and he already had all those accolades. You can't name 10 players in NBA history that have 2 DPOYs, have a ring, have a Finals MVP, and have been
accolades. I'm talking about player.
Yes, I'm watching the player. The player is the one who's winning the accolades.
Kawhi was better than his accolades.
Okay,
I can name 10 players. I can name 10 players. I can name 10 players that were better than him. Even at that point, by age 25, with
better
not
and more
accolades, better players,
better player in 2017. We're talking
by 20 by what they had shown and proven by.
You're gonna say Luka?
Age 25.
You're gonna say Luka?
Yes, Luka by age 25 had proved and was better than Kawhi Leonard.
I'm gonna have a heart attack.
But even before then,
I'm gonna literally have a heart attack.
Kareem, Magic, Kobe, Shaq.
Yo, guys, I got to bounce ETL later.
What are you talking about?
All right, yo, we already had this conversation yesterday though, y'all. So let's just keep it pushing. Let's just keep it pushing. I don't think we're gonna ever come to a common ground on this. We'll go with this one. Okay. Let's read these real quick. Nims knows ball. All NBA, my boy Chet. DPOY? Question mark. Cheddar is better. He did show out yesterday.
Yeah, he did.
Is he gonna make All NBA though?
I don't know about that. He could. They're a great team.
Okay.
I feel like Jalen Duren will get it but Cade will make it now because he'll make the cutoff, right? So
I just really hope this kid ain't playing these games right now just so he makes All NBA.
he look fine.
Hope so. Eric Espinoza, what up, fellas? Mitch Johnson, if you're watching this, please find a way to give Carter Bryant more minutes because this guy's motor is impeccable and could really play a part for a deep run for them. Go Spurs, go. Shout out to Mitch Johnson and Carter Bryant.
Carter was great yesterday, man. He did everything. Creation, off the dribble, the defense, the closeouts, the hitting open threes. He's gonna be really good. I'm really happy for him.
Tyler Talley. This is the guy that said that we needed to find Ron because he said that I wasn't moving the show on. I shouldn't read your super chat for that shit you said, Tyler, but I'm going to. Chat doesn't get enough credit. Chat doesn't get enough credit. Well, chat also. You know what? Chat really does not get enough credit because the chat absolutely clears. I've been trying to tell y'all this for years. The chat clears, man. Shout out to the chat. We got the best chat of all YouTube platforms with a real community. We definitely got the best chat. We got chat that's knowledgeable about what we're talking about. We got a chat that has great humor. We got a chat that heckles us, and we got a chat that supports us, and a chat that shows up every day. You can't beat that. You can't beat that. Our chat clears. I've seen a bunch of other platforms, and I'll be looking at that chat like, man, these dudes are dumb. Like, what type of chat y'all got over here? Shit is weak. But anyways, let me get back to doing my job. Tyler Talley, Chet doesn't get enough credit because he's not as highlight as Wemby. Chet a generational defender with opponents averaging 5% less at the rim than the alien. But y'all,
it has a lot to do with the defense that's around him, but yes, he's a very good defender.
I mean, Wemby has good defense around him.
Not on the level of OKC. Not on the same level of OKC.
But what does that have to do with them being less better at the rim? That's Chet Wemby.
You know, defense is a team thing, right?
Yeah, that's why I said at the rim.
Yeah, but yes, but so at the rim, it's not a one-on-one game, right? Like sometimes I really have questions. Real talk. It's not a one-on-one game. The players who are getting to the rim, how
you have questions about what? And see, that's why I always demean you because you comfortably do it to everybody else, comfortably. But we can continue.
NP13. Would it be better to give the higher odds to the teams that are in the play-in? At least you'll incentivize people to be moderately competitive, and it'll only be 8 spots for the best odds. Now, a lot of those play-in teams, if they get the first like top couple picks, that'd be, that'd be crazy. I don't know. I don't know what to do about the draft situation. Another one. Poad. How is Kawhi greater than Steph because of all-time defense plus good offense? All-time offense, greater than all-time offense, and worse defense. But Ox and Penn don't have Wemby or Jokic this year by the exact same logic. They're just
that is a good question.
How many times I got to explain to y'all that these are just different? First of all, who said I don't got Wemby over Jokic? Who said I don't got Wemby over Jokic?
Do you?
Oh, man, y'all are so high on this
Of
Jokic
course he
guy,
does.
Man. Y'all are so high on this Jokic character. Anyways. These are two different players. We can't just go player for player and think that all logic stands for everything. We're talking about basketball, y'all. This is so nerve-wracking.
When people say that Chet is the reason that OKC has great defense, I want to remind you that he's played half their minutes basically. And he's not played half their minutes. In the not half minutes that he has not played, they have a negative 6.5 relative defensive rating. 109.6 would still be one of the absolute best, if not the second best defense in the NBA. So this idea that he is doing
what are they with him?
104.
Okay,
So
so
that
couldn't
is
I
a
argue? So,
negative
but
5.
couldn't I argue that it is tougher because this is the difference between floor raising and ceiling raising, right? And so if you argue for ceiling raising, then somebody can argue it is tougher to make something that's already all time or very good even better with you on the court than the
But
floor
you just
raise
argued that the Spurs
something
have a
bad
great
to some
defense, right?
mid.
But the Spurs have a great defense, right? You said they
I
have a
said they
great
have good
defense.
defensive personnel
Oh,
around him.
cool. So the Spurs
Yeah.
without Wemby on the court have a 116 defensive rating, and with him they have a 107 defensive rating.
What?
Right.
So
What does
yes,
that mean?
that means that even with Wemby on the that means that
What that
they're
points out is that
9.1 points better with him on the court
what
defensively.
that means is that Chet's replacement is better than Wemby's replacement.
That's not quite how it
That
goes,
is what that
but okay.
means.
So Luke Cornett is not a better defender in your opinion than Jalen Williams? It's not
Jalen
just
Williams
it's
isn't
not just
always
one
the
for
one
one. It's
playing.
not
Is he
center for
always
center.
playing out there by himself, or
No,
is
of
he
course
not
not. But
also
I
sometimes
brought
with
up the team
iHeart
thing too.
or with J Dub or with? That's what I'm saying.
The Thunder are a way better defensive team. Being a part of that is definitely an accomplishment.
Correct.
And being the best defender on a great defensive team deserves credit, but also does
Absolutely.
not act like independently. If I put Victor Wembanyama on the OKC Thunder with that level of perimeter
Mhm.
defense, you don't think his rim percentages would go up? You don't think that rim defense would get better? Because he wouldn't have to cover as much on the perimeter, because because the attacks on the rim would be a lot more controlled, because the players who'd be getting
But
attacking.
why are you acting as if like Spurs do lack perimeter defense? That's what I'm saying. And
I'm
using
saying
on
there's
off,
a
but on off
qualitative
doesn't
gap between
on
these
off
two defensive teams.
on off doesn't prove that the Spurs have like bad perimeter defense.
Well,
It means
I
that
think
their
the
rim
Spurs- I think the
protection
Spurs
does.
have really good defenders.
116 is a relative negative 0.2.
Yeah, that's because that means
So that's
that
an
they're
average defense. Without Wemby, they are
correct.
15th or 16th in the NBA.
Correct. Wemby's a better
That's not
defender
good.
Wemby's a better defender than Chet. But the specific stat that person brought up was the rim percentage.
Right, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. Rim percentage is protecting the rim is
That's
easier when your
a
perimeter
stat more
defenders are
so
better.
directly tied to Wemby and Chet than any other thing else.
Yes,
that's more directly tied to Wemby and Chet than you using on-off numbers.
I'm trying to tell you that your rim percentages depend a lot on who gets to the rim and how they get to the rim. There is a qualitative difference in the type of attacks that Chet is taking at the rim and who is getting to the rim. Very often, because of the scheme that OKC runs, I'm sure you can understand that there's certain players they're funneling to the rim, and then there's certain players that are getting stopped. So if a player is getting to the rim and they are a worse finisher, then they're going to funnel them to the rim. That's what Detroit did.
Did you take into account any of this context when you were shitting on Alex Sarr as a defender?
Yes, I did. Remember how I said when next year he plays really well? See, you're trying to cook so bad, you cook in water. When I said that Alex Sarr will be better,
I'll be cooking you for 2.5 hours. But go ahead.
You straight disrespectful, man. Let me say this.
You're the one that brought up cooking.
I said, well, I mean, you've been cooking. Have you been listening? I did say this with Alex Sarr.
Yeah, that's why I
specifically.
I
specifically said in the context that he is in right now, based on what he has shown, these players are better than him. Will he get better next year with Anthony Davis? Yes, he will. I said that, but you didn't hear that. So right now you're trying to make a point because you read it in the chat.
It's not that. It's not
chat
that.
Don't listen either.
It's not that he's better. It's because now he has better support. But he could be the same player and look better with different criteria or whatever around him.
Wait, hold on, yo. My bad. I got got a $50 super chat. I don't know how I missed this. Got to get to this $50 super chat, y'all.
Oh, for sure.
When the Heat miss the play-in and get a lottery pick, they will have 4 draft picks available. The hometown kid from Milwaukee named Tyler Hero going to come home, and Khalil Ware will come with him. Giannis to Miami, baby. That's super chat is from BTrue2310.
That's wishful. They're not going to miss the play-in. They're going to miss the playoffs. And yes, they are going to miss the playoffs because they're awful. They're an awful.
Yeah, the Heat aren't good. I don't know what I saw in them. Well, he actually had me convinced for a little bit.
They were good when I said it though.
Yeah, they was all right. They was all right.
Happens. Changes. 989 Michi. Cade 13-10 first game back, fire emoji. Pistons have to win last 2 games against Charlotte and Indy to hit 60. Let's effing go.
So we're gonna have 3 60-win teams in the NBA. That's pretty cool.
That's fire. Same old G. Magic didn't spend a long time tanking. They had a mid-team led by Vooch. Shout out Big Vooch.
And Tobias.
Oh God.
Tobias was hooping in Orlando.
There's a lot of lottery picks in that team's history, man. Jonathan Isaac was a lottery pick. Mo Bamba was a lottery pick. Aaron Gordon was a lottery pick. Jalen Suggs was a lottery pick. Paolo, Franz, you can go down the list. You don't think they tanked for those players? Okay. Anthony Black, Jet Howard, lottery. That's like the last 15 years. Sheesh.
Yeah. Bob, Penn heard the hate and stood 10 toes down. Dude got so much aura. No wonder panelists got flustered in his presence. Oh, no wonder panelists get flustered in his presence. I myself would. Keep doing you, Penn. Shout out to you, Penn. Keep doing your thing, baby.
Shout outs to Bob. I don't know how to take compliments on this platform. I really don't.
Just say thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that. But you might be my burner, so I really don't know.
You were off the stage a few times.
Flat.
I don't have a burner. Don't feed the oxygen. Feed yourself.
No,
don't feed the oxygen.
See,
I don't have burners. I don't have burners.
See?
You was off the stage, bitch. I don't have burners. I don't have
Why
burners.
are you so emotional?
I'm emotional because I've been listening to it for 2.
You're so emotional.
Nope. Okay, see, that's what you do. You mute mics. There we go. Flattening odds even more will discourage the terrible teams from staying bad. Less teams and low 20s winning seasons because they have the same pick. Okay.
True.
Steven 914 been a member for 2 whole years, not 24 months, 2 years. It sounds like Penn is drunk. Real talk, please cook this dude.
I
got
did
anything you
for
wanna cook him about?
2 hours and 40 minutes. I've been cooking. We've been cooking.
Okay, good job. Continue to cook, man. Chef Boyardee.
Exactly.
Drink more water. Penn, after hearing everything you said about what makes Jokic a better defender than Sarr, is Kevin Love also a better defender than Sarr since defensive rebound, pushing transitions, and is efficient?
No. I think Kevin Love legitimately is a bad defender.
But he was averaging like 14 rebounds a game.
Yeah,
And
he
rebounds and
contributes.
pushing the offense.
Yes, he was. And that is a good contribution to defense. Just like Allen Iverson getting steals in the Sixers defense was a good contribution to defense. Gary Trent getting steals in the Raptors defense was a good contribution to defense. But when I look at your net impact on defense, there's too many things you don't do well. Kevin Love, not the greatest post defender, terrible in space, blocks the rim. He is even worse protecting the rim
This
than Nikola
sounds
Jokic.
just like Jokic.
Yes, it sounds
does,
like, but it's
but,
not.
you know.
In fact,
It's
I
not
would say Kevin Love was a better switch defender on the perimeter than Jokic.
He wasn't, in my opinion. But that could also have to do with the fact that he
Also, Ox, who was Jokic guarding in the post? Because every time I see him, they put him on the non-shooter. But, you know, it doesn't matter. It is what it is.
who plays the gaps better?
No, facts. Now we're
Who
talking
plays
about
the nails
gaps.
better?
No, facts.
Who communicates better?
No, facts.
This is
Right, because we hear him talking out there.
Masinko G.
You don't see it?
I'm just tired of this throwing rocks and hiding your hand. Pin you insult everyone. But when someone does it back to you, you pretend you're holier than thou and nice. Tomato, 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 tomato. Okay.
I don't think I've started a lot of the shit that's come, but you know, I'm certainly not up here playing victim. There's a lot of things I have started, and when I have started it, that's cool. But when I haven't started it and it just keeps going and going, I really don't get that. But that's cool, man. This shit is not real life to me.
My bad. I definitely.
It's really not real
I
life.
didn't mean to leave you two up here alone, man.
Yeah, we
Y'all burning the
can't
house down.
read super chats.
Yeah, no. We not. But never leave you two up here alone. Tyler Talley, by your logic, since OKC is one of the worst rebounding teams, does that mean they are a worse defense than teams that are able to rebound better?
Is OKC one of the worst rebounding teams?
They're not
I
a
don't know.
they're not a
Tyler said
good
they were,
defensive
but-
rebounding team.
Like, where do they rank?
I think they're middle of the pack. I don't think they're like bad, but
Well, he said one of the worst. It's not possible to be a great defense and be a terrible rebounding team. So that's just not possible. But
Yeah,
if someone wants to tell me where they rank, I'll happily answer the question. I do not know.
actually,
offhand
let's see
where
where
do
they
rank.
rank. Yeah.
Okay, while you're doing that, we'll keep reading super chats.
Okay.
Oiled up, juicy, real talk FC. I be forgetting about this dude. Penn been getting cooked all week. No one likes him. Everyone sees he's a grown man who dishes out insults but can't take it back. He's worse than. Oh well,
Worse
all
than
right.
who?
I don't know.
Charlie Kirk. Oh
I
wow.
don't know. I don't know.
I have to say, there was like 3 years ago, I was doing some pretty toxic shit on Pittsburgh basketball. Like I was
Like
cooking
what?
Fred VanVleet every
Oh.
single night, making film breakdowns, and I was starting to get call-ins from people that I was just like, ooh, I don't know if I want to meet this person in real life. I think it's a good litmus test when you have an audience or like your super fans are deranged. It's probably you doing something very wrong. So over the last couple of years, I've really felt like a lot of the toxic people left our community and a lot of really awesome people come in. And every year at Penn Nance, I get to meet these people and they're athletes and they're coaches and they're youth basketball people. And I'm like, man, that's great. That's dope. I love finding out that players, basketball players, Division I athletes, NBA players, scouts watch my shit. That makes me feel very happy because that means it's a good litmus test that means I'm talking common sense, that people who are willing to listen to common sense. The fact that this dude is your super fan, my friend, you are doing something very wrong.
Did you use all of that because somebody is a troll that has my face on their thing?
This is not a troll. This is a person devoting actual rent money to support you. This is a person who's crashing out every day.
Sounds like a troll.
Ox, gonna just very quickly, because I do want to say this. So if them comparing you to that person is an indictment on that person, then what does it say about a man who's on a camera in front of thousands of people and knowing that the VOD is going to get 20,000+ views and puts allegations of
don't talk about
DV
that. Don't talk
and all
about
of that
that.
on
Don't
people?
talk about that. You're so messy. Don't talk.
You did that.
Penn, both of y'all, let's chill for a quick second. Chill out. We already know what
But
what the
you
vibes
did
are
that
today.
though.
But real talk, we could just
Did that.
We could
But
just
I'm saying though, like he tried to put some kind of like
Wait,
indictment on me
but hold on,
because
hold
of
on,
some
chill,
random
chill,
person on
chill,
the internet.
Chill.
Like,
Let's just read more super chats, y'all. Let's read.
But
more
it is what it is.
Yeah.
But now, if I respond to this, I'm gonna get fired, right?
I don't know. I don't hire and fire anybody. That's way above me. You know what I'm saying?
Did you not get the memo? Real talk.
I actually did it not until Oxford, but I didn't bring up oh boy. I said what you said. That's two different things. But we can continue.
I think we should all three just carry on.
Yeah, we can. I'm
and
good.
Just do our job. You know what I'm saying? I don't think this is that important. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop feeding it. Stop feeding it. What are those things called you ain't supposed to feed after dark? Oh, gremlins. Don't feed him. Ex Risto. Oh, this is the Christos Salunis Salus. Who's his name? Christos Karasoulis.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Last chance, real talk, to jump back on the Knicks train. D. Mitch also can win with Garland, Rudy, Quinn Snyder, JB Bickerstaff, and not a number one guy.
I'm not jumping back on the Knicks bandwagon. I am comfortable now with my seat on the Celtic train. Thank you very much. But all blessings and hopes to you New York fans. I hope you all find major success in the playoffs. But I doubt you will, especially if it's against Boston.
Yeah, absolutely. Playing defense on Vando makes you a good defender. Crayon emojis.
Also,
it's Sam Zay sent that super chat.
To answer the previous super chat on OKC. So OKC is one of the slowest teams in the NBA. They're 18th in pace. They are 13th in rebounds. Pace and rebounds are very connected. The best rebounding team grabs 48 rebounds. The OKC Thunder grab 44. To call the OKC Thunder a bad rebounding team is truly insane. They're not a bad rebounding team.
Where do the Celtics rank in defensive rebounds?
They rank. It's a good question. 4th, 46.5.
They're a top 5 rebounding team. They're the slowest team in the league.
They're definitely up there.
It's Nico. This will be the year one of the top players in the 2020s will win their second ring. Potentially. Unless the Knicks win it or the Cavs win it. Huh?
Let me see. I think
Minnesota.
I mean, Shea's obviously one of the top. Yeah, so he's gonna win it.
Shea, wait, it's just Shea and Jokic because Giannis can't. Giannis isn't gonna win it. The Celtics. So just the Luka, but I mean, if Luka's even gonna be around for it.
But he's saying like we're finally gonna hit. There's finally gonna be like second. So a multi-time champion in this decade because we don't have one because there's been a new champion every year. So
right. So the only people that fit that description of what he's saying is Shea, Jokic, Jaylen Brown, and Jason Tatum. Leaf Diggy, the Brim Reaper. The Brim Reaper Leaf Diggy is here. He has a super chat. It says, it's about development and strategy of players and staff that will compete at a high level and create success for a team. As far as top 5 picks since 2010, only 6 picks won the title. Only Joel won MVP.
I mean,
Cook, Leaf.
But tanking works. Like
I don't
know if it does. LeVar be balling. Real talk, you were cooking. Pencil, as usual, cannot boil water and isn't listening to you, just making up summaries in his head. Gotta stop doing that, Pen.
Damn.
Alexander Andre became a YouTube member. Shout out to you. Bob Solo. Cowboy Bob. Stop lying. Knicks won't be a championship with Giannis. Knicks trade OG Cat and Bridges to start. Fakeness. Spreads. We ain't winning. Stop lying. Go New York, go.
Okay. If you have to trade all of that, then yeah, y'all aren't going to win anything. But if you have a foundation of Brunson, OG, Giannis, I like that.
That's a good start.
I like that a lot,
really good start.
Actually. Yeah.
Masinko G. Won't lie, Pen. I've been on your ass, but you cooked with that trade.
That's good, man.
Absolutely you did.
You shoot 1 for 10 in the first quarter. You got to shoot like 7, 8 for 10 the second quarter. Make up for it.
King Bo. We clinched the best overall record and home court last night. We are clicking at the right time, so we should cruise to the West Finals. Thunder up. Maybe so. King Bo. Chet is a better perimeter defender than Wemby. We just not ready for them combos yet. I don't see why we're not ready for those combos. I think that's
he is
obvious.
A better perimeter defender. Yeah, that is.
That's obvious. That's so obvious.
So if he's better on the perimeter and he has people shoot less percentage at the rim, maybe this is a closer conversation than we want to admit.
It's really not.
Maybe. I was trying to tell y'all this at the beginning of the season. I asked y'all, why can't we talk about? Man, I've been trying to tell y'all, man. There is really not that big of a gap between Chet and Wemby. It's really not. Y'all are just so infatuated because he's 7 feet 8.
Okay, the number of shots the teams don't attempt at Wemby should count towards his defensive impact as well. There are so many times when a player is just like, I'm not going there. He is like a 30 square foot zone defense in which nobody wants to go at him. That's why I say there's a big difference between the percentage he shoots versus the percentage he doesn't shoot, because there's so many shots that a team would take, but they stop short and they go for a pull-up jump shot instead of challenging him. I will tell you right now, if you are being honest, you poll every player in the NBA, who are you more scared of at the rim? That should count a lot. Instead of, using analytics to be like, oh, well, 2%, 3%, 5%. Yo, bro, like scared ain't a percentage.
I said he was fooled
This
that
is
day,
ironic.
and people couldn't accept it. He was. I've seen Wemby be fooled too.
Everyone who protects the rim gets dunked on, yo.
I've seen Wemby be a buffet.
Okay,
I've
who
seen
would
Chet be a buffet?
Ox, you played
Absolutely,
big man.
yeah.
Who would you rather go up against?
Don't really matter. They're both huge. I don't really care. It's not really a big difference. The only thing you can do is just go at their chest anyway. Bring them out. Try to go around them. Honestly, I would say Wemby. I would say Wemby because of the perimeter. Because I got more action taking him to the cup.
Okay.
That's why. That's the answer. I don't think that means that answer right there doesn't mean that he's a better defender than Wemby. I'm just saying is if you asked about me, obviously I wouldn't want to see either one of them dudes, right? But the way I play basketball is I would rather have Wemby because I'm gonna bring you out 19, 20 feet and try to make a move to get around you, try to get to the mid range, a little step back, pull up, something like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to jab right, go left, jab left, go right, spin back, something like that. You know what I'm saying? I think you got more action with Wemby than Chet.
I think Wemby is better at recovering
I really don't
after
got
being
action with
beat.
either one of them dudes, Pin. So let's make that clear. Let's make that
Right.
clear. Even at my best, I don't really want it with either one of them young fellas. But you asked me
Right.
that question, that's my answer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think while Chet fundamentally is better at sliding his feet on the perimeter, and naturally that makes sense because he's not 7'5". I think Wemby is probably better at recovering once he's beat.
Possibly, yeah.
And so you don't have
punching.
Yeah, like you don't got to beat him by 3 feet. You got to beat him by 10, 12 feet.
And you can't lay the ball up, so
you really can't. You got to get it up so quick to the backboard. So it's just, I think there's just a psychological impact that defenders like when you like. I'm not saying like you got to be scared, but OG and Anunoby as a defender, there's a fear factor to that. There is a fear factor when OG and Anunoby starts clamping you up. Drew Holiday starts clamping you up. There's a reputation that these guys have. Victor Wembanyama drives a lot of fear into offenses with his defense, and I don't think that Chet drives
Chet has a
same
representation
fear.
too. Chet has
He's great. He's amazing.
Too.
So is Rudy Gobert. I'm just saying none of these guys are able to cover space as well on the recovery, and I'm
taking Rudy over both of them.
Yeah.
I mean, Rudy does have seasons that are better than this year Chet and this year Wemby.
This year Wemby?
Yes, he does.
Man, peak Rudy, man. All right, man. I'm taking Rudy over
that
both
is
of them
statistically
dudes,
true.
sure.
I said statistically speaking, he does.
But what do your eyes say?
And he's a better defender. I think Rudy was better in space and on the block. But
he is a better post defender than Wemby.
Yes.
I mean
by far.
That's
same old G. Lottery picks don't mean you tanked. Team was mid. They made the playoffs 1 year. Only time they tanked was once they got rid of Vooch, AG, and Evan.
That's a fair point. You are correct. The Magic were just really bad for a very long time.
Again, Penn got deep fried. Throw rocks and hide your hands. That was from LeVar B. Ballin. MTHJ. What if NBA teams take a vote for who are the top 30 prospects, and based off records, you can only sign a certain amount of that batch? Yeah, I don't know about that, brother.
Well, there are serious playoff implications for tonight's games, specifically the Philadelphia 76ers. If Embiid is not playing and they lose, they can actually slide into the play-in, which is quite insane. Yeah.
Well, y'all, that is the show today. Make sure y'all tap in tomorrow. If you're not going to be here live to come check us out in the MODA Center, then watch us on your computer, watch us on your phone, watch us on your television. We will be in the MODA Center live and direct. Can't wait for that. It's going to be a great time. Real talk, Penn. It was a pleasure spending time with y'all today. I will see you guys soon.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Y'all have a good time, man.
Absolutely.